stories. We'll start with this. Millie Bobby Brown told British Vogue that a big frustration with the media she has is journalists going after celebrities in headlines, saying such coverage left her crying every day during the Electric State press tour. She recalled being targeted with lines like, "Why are Gen Zers like Millie Bobby Brown being aging so badly?" Hitting back that those headlines are just bullying. And she explained that her viral Instagram video calling out headlines, commenting on her appearance was meant to stand up for, quote, every other girl who wants to try a new hairstyle or wear a red lip. It's like, get off my case. You know, I'm 21 and I'm going to have fun and play and be myself.
It's funny, though. I remember that thing, and it was a weird sort of, everyone was reporting on. I think the thing that I responded to was like, wow, I remember her when she was eating Eggos as an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Well, look, she's a full, like a screen siren. Like,
yes.
She's a mature, full woman.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people were reacting like, they didn't. I guess maybe she's locked in time because of Stranger Things.
I think that is part of it, Steve. Yeah. I mean, she was doing some other things. She did the, Enola Holmes.
Which is a good series.
Great little series, and she had aged, since Stranger Things and that. But I guess people see her as, this little kid.
Right.
And like you said, locked in time over that. But no, she is a blossoming, beautiful young woman and mother now. So, but she says that she emphasized that she wants to shield her adopted daughter from the media and adds that it's our job to protect her until she's old enough to share her story. I have a follow-up on the, believe it or not, the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively thing. Apparently he's not backing down on the legal battle, though his $400 million countersuit was recently closed. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, said that no deadlines were missed and that they chose not to amend their complaint to preserve appeal rights.
I mean, the question here is, will anyone stand for baloney?
They won't stand
for baloney.
They won't stand for Baldoni. Friedman said that...
Will anyone stand for Baldoni?
The team is now focusing on Ms. Lively's claims and remains fully committed to pursuing the truth.
Yes.
Judge Louis Lyman also ended the countersuit after Baldoni and his co-plaintiffs declined to amend it while granting Lively's request to keep her claim for legal fees.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
That must be the prosecution.
That's got to be it. Yeah, just standing up and pointing and saying that.
You can't say that in court.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
So Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun are heating things up in New York City. The Euphoria star, music exec, were spotted locking lips in Central Park on Tuesday. The same day that her GQ interview saw the actress declare, "I'm single. I don't think I'm looking for a man right now." Sources previously told People the pair are casually dating and that they have a lot in common and neither one of them cares what others think.
So this is, I don't quite approve of this relationship, but whatever, it's all right. I just wonder, as from her angle, when they do get intimate, how do you yell out in the dark of the bedroom, "Take me, Scooter," and not...
Scooter.
What's his actual name?
Yes, Scooter. Oh, Scooter.
Oh, Scooter.
Just like that, ride me, Scooter.
Hump me, Big Sheldon. Scott Samuel Scooter Braun.
All right,
Okay.
yelling Scott is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott Samuel Scooter Braun. Okay.
That's a lot to yell and throws a passion.
Scott Samuel Scooter Braun.
Jamie Scott Scooter. What is it again?
Scott Samuel Scooter Braun.
She has to write it on an index card.
Friends on both sides are reportedly thrilled, with one insider saying it's such a relief to see her genuinely happy, while another added that Braun thinks she's smart, kind, and fun.
I genuinely like her. I think she's been in some good stuff. I the project she's in. If she's found true love, Preston, then I think we're all better as people.
The two first sparked buzz in September after being seen holding hands in Los Angeles. Still, Sweeney insists that she's focusing on herself, telling GQ, "If love finds me, love finds me."
Oh, wow. Very poetic.
Very deep. The Christie actress made headlines.
That's a sandwich. That's a sandwich.
Earlier this year for her public fallout with her ex-fiancé, Jonathan Davino, while Scooter finalized his divorce from Yale Cohen in 2022 after 7 years of marriage and 3 kids. Didn't know that about him.
No.
All right, this is fun to know. Steve Martin and Martin Short have announced that they are going back on tour in the new year.
Nice.
Dubbed the best of Steve Martin and Martin Short, The trek consists of 13 dates as of now, and each stop will have the comedians accompanied by bluegrass group Jeff Babco and the Steep Canyon Rangers. The 2026 tour kicks off January 29th in San Antonio. The closest I saw, because they start off with several days in Boston, then they go out to Pittsburgh, and then they zip out west. But they are going to be back in the Hershey area.
You're doing Giant?
On March 14th. It didn't say the venue. It's March, so it's got to be inside.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Did you see who's opening for them?
No.
Insane Clown Posse.
No.
Yeah, wow.
ICP?
It seems like a bizarre pairing.
Wow. So you can visit Steve Martin's official website for more tour and ticket information. I want to get out and see those guys. Nick, did you see them do the comedy tour?
I really wanted to as well. I watched whatever special that they had as a Netflix or HBO Max or whatever, and I love them both. Steve, I'm almost finished the last season of or the current season of Only Murders, and I still love that show. Have you guys heard the Steve Martin contribution to the Aerosmith track?
No.
So apparently, I didn't know this until a couple of days ago. Steve Martin and Steven Tyler are friends, and Steven Tyler reached out to Steve Martin and said, "Would you like to do backing banjo on a track that they're working on?" And so I had no idea that this friendship existed, and it's but they're good buddies, and so Steve Martin said yes. He had a banjo, and so I think maybe they debuted it on The View, or there was some show recently where they played some of it, and it sounded really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was impressed by it.
Excellent. All right, a few other things. Succession star Nicholas Braun has dodged a bullet in connection to his arrest over the summer. Braun was arrested on August 30th in New Hampshire on suspicion of DUI and other charges. And on Tuesday, the case against him was closed with charges of DUI impairment and operating without lights dropped, according to court documents. What was his character's name, Nick? The nephew?
He was Greg, right?
Greg, there you go.
Tall Greg.
Yeah, so the drop charges may have something to do with the toxicology report coming back with a blood alcohol content of 0.08, which is the lowest BAC that one can have and be found legally impaired. So he was like right on it.
So
and I guess
0.08 is still legal? So anything over 0.08?
I guess it's a gray area.
It might be 0.08 and above. But if it's that close and it's his first offense and things like that, they may have a little leeway
Give
within
this
the
man
court.
a shot so we can get it.
Yep. Veteran actor Anthony LaPaglia may soon be single. His wife of 7 years, Alexandra Henkel, has filed for divorce. She lists September 11th as a date of separation, and she cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. And this will be the third divorce for him.
Unlucky in love.
So he's most well known for his role as Jack Malone on Without a Trace, but he's been in tons of stuff throughout the years.
Marissa, were you, because of your Empire Records love, are you a fan, and are you attracted to said actor?
I think when he plays drums in the scene, when he shuts the office door and he starts playing If You Want Blood.
Oh,
yeah.
AC/DC?
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
Okay.
Nice. I liked him in So I Married an Axe.
Oh, he's great. And Alan Arkin is so good in that,
yes. All right, so later on this morning, we are going to have director Dan Trachtenberg in the studio. And with the Predator franchise once again gaining steam, what could possibly take it to even greater heights? Well, the 1987 film has spawned 6 sequels, 2 crossover films with the Alien franchise, set to unleash the latest chapter of Predator Badlands in theaters, which we're going to talk to Dan about later this morning. So where does it go from there? Well, Ben Rosenblatt, a producer on Badlands, said at the movie's premiere that bringing back Arnold is the dream. He said, obviously, the holy grail of Predator movies would be getting Arnold back in there. It's always been something in the back of our minds. And he added that conversations had been had. He said, Arnold and Dan have met a couple of times now, so you bet we're going to ask him about that.
So I had been unaware of this, and we're both fans of Killer of Killers. Dan added a post-credit scene in which you see frozen, I guess, in a cryogenic thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dutch, Danny Glover, and Naru from Prey.
Get out.
So, in other words, the idea is the Predators go back and kidnap and freeze them. the species or the people that bested them in battle.
Yeah, so they're worthy.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I don't know if they want to have a battle royale
Yeah.
or whatever it might be, but that's
So
interesting.
that they could come back. So you see Danny Glover here, Preston.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think the second movie is a lot of fun.
I got to watch it. I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through.
The second movie actually starts to do a lot more of the history building of the species of the predators, and it's a solid entry.
So he said he's been really interested in what we're doing. He's a real fan of what we've done so far from what I understand, and we're really excited. After Predator Badlands comes out, he said we'll see and have more conversations. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do something with Arnold because that would be awesome.
Do you want a little fun fact here, Preston, concerning Dan Trachtenberg?
Sure.
Rumor is he's directed one of the final season episodes of Stranger Things.
Ooh, that is very good.
Yes,
I love that.
that's the rumor.
Got to dive into that with him. All right, so let me see. Kim Kardashian's new Hulu drama, All's Fair, is making headlines, but not the kind she hoped for. The Ryan Murphy created series featuring an all-star cast, including Teyana Taylor, Niecy Nash, Sarah Paulson, and Glenn Close, currently sits at 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
0.0.
Critics have not held back. USA Today called it the worst TV show of the year.
Yes.
While the Hollywood Reporter slammed it as, quote, brain dead.
Wow.
Still, the series where Kim plays a powerful divorce lawyer is topping Hulu's charge and sparking debate online as one fan tweeted, "It's fun. Women-led, high fashion, terrible script, horrible acting, and believe it or not, Kim is not the worst part of it."
Wow, no kidding.
So it might not be just her.
I've seen her in a few things. She is not bad, but she's also part of an ensemble. So the entire show
Yeah.
isn't her. She's got about 9 other women in the cast that are sharing the duties.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I'm watching a show right now where I think there are moments where I feel like the acting is pretty terrible. But I'm enjoying it still. And now, Nick, I know you're watching The Last Frontier as well.
Yeah.
And there are these moments between the husband and the wife that I feel are soulless. Like, I'm like,
Just doesn't hit you?
They have gone through apparently a terrible tragedy in their lives. I don't feel that at all when they're sitting next to each other. And you know, as the show goes on, you're going to find out a little bit more as to like this loss that they. But there are other moments where it's supposed to be action.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it at the same time.
Oh, I've had a number of TV shows like that where you find something to enjoy. You realize it's not a very good show,
Right.
but you enjoy aspects of it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of perfect shows out there, and I like The Last Frontier. That bus scene in the where the bus fell off the cliff. Have you gotten to that episode yet?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some incredible action scenes. I like Jason Clarke a lot, but I get what you're saying. It's just sometimes there's shows that are on. You're like, all right, this is good, and it's gonna help kill an hour.
I hope this does terribly, and I hope this destroys the show. I want.
You're rooting against her.
I want. Listen, she's fine where she is.
Uh-huh.
I want no more success. I want no more upward movement.
She's a lawyer.
Good, stay there.
Honestly,
No more.
she's driving 55 in the left lane is what she's doing right now. Get over into your lane and
Thank you.
I watched the Ryan Murphy show she was on. Steve, what are the series?
American Horror Story.
She was terrible as an actor. She was terrible as an actor, pretty much playing herself. She was like playing her mom, and it was terrible. And I have to imagine, I'm just guessing, that the amount of screen time she got on that show, which was very limited, is probably similar to what this show is, and she's probably still terrible.
But
I thought she did. She did what she needed to do. Was she wonderful? No, she was okay. But I don't. Yeah, but you can't hang an entire series on her, and they haven't with this.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to check it out out of curiosity because that still boosts their numbers, and I'm not going to do it.
Well, I think I might.
All right. One last thing is I thought this was nice. Helen Mirren will receive the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award on January 8th, recognizing her lifetime achievements in entertainment. This honor will be part of the new Golden Eve special on CBS and Paramount Plus, which also hands out the Carol Burnett Award. And the honoree for that award has not been named at this time. Mirren's 6-decade career spans everything from Caligula to 1923, earning her an Oscar, multiple Emmys, a Tony, and 3 Golden Globes. The ceremony is part of the first ever Golden Week, leading up to the 83rd Golden Globes on January 11th. And Kim Kardashian will give her
Should be,
that
absolutely.
award.
If you want to be, that would be such an honor. So I wonder if Liam Neeson would be there because Liam Neeson was with her in Excalibur.
Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah.
It will be hosted by Nikki Glazer, our friend, by the way. All right, we are ready to play some clips for you. Madeline Maddie Matlock needs to get together with Steven Scooter Braun, whatever his full name was. Samuel. Has become beloved by so many fans, and here Kathy Bates explains why she thinks people like her version of the classic character.
It's well done, it's simple, but it's also wacky, and people want something to escape, something that they can just enjoy for an hour and get away from everything and laugh and get involved with the characters. Families are watching it together, so it's really cool.
New episode of Matlock airs tonight. You'll see that on CBS. Here's our next clip. Fueled by grit, raw determination, and an unshakable desire to win, Christy Martin charged into the 90s boxing scene. And here, Sydney Sweeney talks about bringing her story to the screen.
It's a huge weight on your shoulders because she is such an inspiring, incredible woman. And I wanted to do justice by her. So first I was really nervous, but then after you spend time with Christy, you get to know her and you get close with her, you want her around all the time. Like I kept texting her, like, when are you going to come visit the set? When are you going to come back?
Yeah.
Christy will hit theaters on Friday.
We had her in the studio, and she was very, very likable.
Yeah, she was cool. All right, and that is the entertainment report for you so far this morning. A few other things I didn't get a chance to get to. We'll maybe pass those along to you tomorrow because there's a lot of entertainment in the world, folks. We're going to take a break. Like we said earlier, Dan Trachtenberg, the director, in theaters, Predator, Badlands. He'll be stopping by to talk about that. We'll get into some other things when we return. So stay put. We'll be back in a moment. It's available now through May 2nd at 10 p.m. or while supplies last.
I need you to stop talking and listen to me.
That's a great one.
That is terrific.
It's so good. He hasn't
I
come
need
down
you to
here.
stop talking and listen to me.
Oh, my God. That's a clip on its own now, right?
It's got to be.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That's when we had him and Jackie and Bill and Gary Lauer in the escape room.
Situation, right?
And the
Pituation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bill went along with it.
Somebody had texted earlier. They want to hear Pituation's Bill Weston impression at some point.
Because he does such a good Rocky.
It's been spot on. All right, let's get it. 2 more callers. We have John. Hey, John, good morning.
Hello, Preston.
Good morning. International Talk Like Bill Weston Day. Let me get another caller, and we have another Bill. Hey, Bill, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, Bill, we're going to do Talk Like Bill Weston Day. Who said it bestin'? And, Bill, we are going to begin with you. Give us your Bill Weston line, please.
The quickest way to sound desperate is to use the number 10.
I love it. All right, let's see if John can top him. John, let's have it.
The quickest way to sound desperate is to use number 10.
Okay. You know what?
Wow.
John has a deeper voice, but I think Bill, me personally, I think Bill captured the essence a little bit more. I'm giving my vote to Bill. Nick?
Bill's delivery was excellent. But his high voice threw me off, so I'm going John.
All right, Kathy?
John's who went second, right?
Yep.
Yeah, John.
All right, Steve?
I'm going with John went second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You went with John?
No, yeah, I went with John because Bill had the higher voice.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Casey?
Yeah, I agree with
All
him
right,
as well.
sorry, Bill. You're out of there. But John
Good, again.
is a winner. And here's what we got for John.
All right, we got a case of Loverboy. You might recall Loverboy from Bravo's hit reality series Summer House. Loverboy is a high-quality, low-calorie. I was thinking low-hanging fruit. 0 sugar, sparkling hard tea, and you can enjoy Loverboy, Kellyanne's Bar and Grill, located at 1549 Spring Garden Street in Philly.
I need you to stop talking and listen to me.
And guess what?
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our final 2 contestants, the man of the day is here. Bill Weston, man about town.
You know, I had to come in here and tell you what a great game this is and how good you guys are at it. Because I was the Bill on the last call that you didn't pick. That was me.
That's great. Excellent job.
Awesome.
Were you the high
You
pitched
lost
voice?
at your own contest.
The best way to sound desperate is to use the number 10.
Bill, I voted for you.
Yeah.
I said you got the essence.
And I'm so mad because I went and told Marissa, I'm like, you should get Bill on the call and to do this contest.
That's great.
I figured you'd leave me on and I would complain about not winning the prize, but I was immediately hung up upon. And it was like, I got to walk in there and like say, hey, that was me.
So you kind of did a Don Knotts, right?
Yeah. I was just trying to throw you off.
Yeah.
Hey,
great.
Hey, Bill.
I need you to stop talking and listen to me.
Do you remember that Gary call? Because I'd forgotten about it.
I totally
remember
forgot.
that was fairly early on. I'd only met Gary once at the Camp Out for Hunger where he gave me a bullet.
Remember that? He was giving bullets
He
to a
was
lot of
handing
people.
out bullets.
Was at the Plymouth meeting. So I didn't realize, because Casey's impression was, passable, but, I could have hurt. I didn't know it at that point or recognize the hotline number, obviously. Yeah, boy, was that. Because somebody said he was acting like an idiot, and I had to get in and, oh, my God. Well, that's a good drop. I'm sure you're going to use that
We'll use that a lot, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, Casey, I know you're renaming that, but I want to hear that pause,
Okay.
the lip smack, and then the realization.
Okay, you gotta give me-
Before we go to our, well, you know what? Let's do our
do it
last
after.
contest.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll do it on the way out.
Just one more line.
We have one more. I'm going to go to Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Wonderful. All right, Mike, you're going to be going up against another Bill. All right. Hey, Bill, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Bill. We had this last matchup. It's between you and Mike. We're going to start with Mike. Mike, it's Talk Like Bill Weston Day. Give us your bestin'. Go for it.
Oh, something's wrong here. Santa's got to go.
Okay. We'll go next to Bill and see how he does. Bill, you give us the line.
I don't know what you want from me. Santa's got to go.
All right. What are we going to vote? Who are we going to vote for, Nick?
They were both a little rushed, but I
Yeah.
think that Bill actually did the better of the two Bills.
Okay, Kathy
Correct.
and
Same.
Steve.
Yeah. There was an improv on the one performance. So-
Casey?
I've been come to known as, but I go with Bill as well.
And I will go with Bill, too. And we got our winner, Mike. Thank you for calling in, bud. Bill beat ya, and here is what we have for Bill as a prize.
All right, Bill. What we have for you is a pair of tickets to see the next chapter in the Wizarding World series, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, is now in theaters. Plus, you also get 2 tickets to experience the original film that started it all as the Philadelphia Orchestra performs Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone live in concert while the full movie plays on the big screen. And that's going to be Saturday, July 23rd at The Man.
All right, let's play back just this realization moment that Bill had when Kay found out. He realized that Casey was pranking him. Here we go.
It was reported that you were either inebriated, high, or a combination of both.
I was so high and so drunk. I had such a good time, man.
Is this Casey?
You just called the hotline.
Oh, my God.
I need your consent. Can we play this on the air?
Everything except the asshole part.
All right, thank you. I'll clean it up so you can hear it.
You're such a good sport, Bill. You are.
I need you to stop talking and listen to me.
Wait, Casey, you told him that Gary had done something in the mixer?
I don't remember.
Gary was just being Gary, and so he's you have to border collie him a little bit.
I think we
whether he's
inflated
handing
it.
out bullets or whatever, but and so that was the issue.
Yep. Oh.
All right, it's all for the show.
All right,
I'm with you guys.
Santa's got to go, right?
Good show. All right.
Wait, what grade does this segment get?
Oh, I'll give it an A minus.
There's always room for improvement.
Wow. Bill Weston, ladies and gentlemen.
Santa's got to go.
All right, we got to take a break.
Stop talking.
And feel free to talk like Bill Weston today, because that's what it's all about, folks. We're going to break. When we come back, we are going to have actor Ke Kwan on the show, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
their lead music editor.
With it was in BuzzFeed a little while back, and I wanted to kind of explore this a little bit. The title is 35 very specific things you saw every single time you went to your grandma's house. And I remember, and obviously this was pre-video games and all that stuff, when I was a kid, when I would be at my grandparents' house and I would have like all day by myself just wandering around. I mean, there were other people in the house, but there was no other kids to play with. And
nothing for you to do.
I needed to kill time. I had to kind of just find things to get into and do. So I would do a lot of just going through dresser drawers and just, whatever, just nosing around. And I remember things like playing with my grandfather's old shoe shine kit.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they have the buffer thing too that like spun two
not
ways?
Not the electrical one, but like the brushes and all. And obviously, I'd get into the shoe polish itself, which is a total mess. But I remember things like that. Marissa, you brought in for show and tell the old adding machine with the hand crank and all that stuff. That my other grandparents, they had one of those. I would always play with that.
Well, I clearly remember there's certain things that you would have. Like I remember so my grandparents passed away, years ago. But they were. I remember going to the house enough. Their various houses. They lived in Staten Island and then Flagler Beach, Florida. And the thing I remember, Preston, is they had that old style TV remote. With like a button on and off, and like one thing that would manually turn the dial, and the thing looked like what in Star Trek they had those tricorders. It was that freaking big, and that was a big thing at my grandparents' house.
So here are some items, and feel free. I would like to hear from you guys listening. 215-263-WMMR. Like this one says, an old vacuum cleaner from at least 1979 that had one of those really big bags that filled up with air and got really warm whenever she used it.
Also, and when it would develop a small tear, it'd be like a fog machine coming out of it because we'd blown the dust right out that vent.
My aunt kept my grandmother's and she used it for a haunted house that she would have at her house. It was like part of their haunted house was this old vacuum with the bag on the back of it.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
I remember playing with the sewing machine.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was fascinating to me.
During visiting time, if your parents were there to visit and you were, as you said, there were no other kids around, unless you had cousins or whatever. But if they're not, you had to play with the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had to find things.
I got an example for you for that, Steve, because I have two younger brothers, and so when we would go to this is my dad's parents' house. My mom, my grandmother on that side, she was the one that said the cassette player.
Right.
So it's that family, and they had a laundry chute. Now,
dude, that's a home run.
It's pretty much an indoor slide, and you can send things down, and if you're really adventurous, you can send things back up. And so we would play with that.
Send your brother
for
down.
hours. Yes, Josh was small enough at the time; you could try to cram him in, which was always discouraged. But that was entertainment for 2 hours, 3 hours.
That's pretty cool.
You would send your action figures down through that.
Absolutely.
Like Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Where's he going?
Yeah,
he's going down the garbage chute.
Hell yes. Absolutely.
We would always have like this. I don't remember like going through their stuff or anything like that, but I remember like we would always have treats over there. They were always the same. We had the Nilla wafers.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was always a bowl.
What about butterscotch candies?
Candies. Yeah, there was like an old, bowl of candies that no one
hard
really
candies
wanted.
that would mold into one big piece.
And then
like eventually.
It's like a sedimentary rock.
Wait, and then I remember going through. My grandmother always had a change purse. So like that was the fun. I was like, let me go through your change purse and see how many quarters you have in there.
Was it actually one of those rubber ones that when you open and close it would look like a mouth?
Like a pop.
No, hers was almost like I forget what they call it, but like a mini purse where it had like the snap thing at the top.
Yeah. Where I keep my cocaine.
My grandfather had a coin collection, so that was something to like.
That
look
is
at.
interesting.
That was okay, yeah. But Kathy, my grandmother, would serve for whatever reason flat 7-Up because
flat soda.
Yeah.
We had flat soda every time we went there. Why was it
Old
flat?
people at that time really loved flat soda.
What the hell?
Soda.
Why was it no carbonation?
Here's a couple other examples, and we'll go to some phone calls. This one says a 1980s dustbuster that you would always end up playing with.
The dustbuster.
You may use that as a toy. That could be like a laser gun. Yep.
You know,
It was like
something that
brown and cream.
my grandmother was in entertainment, so she had she taught dance and music. So in her basement, Preston, she had a full xylophone.
Oh, wow.
And
That's awesome.
It was on. I wasn't allowed to go play with it, but I did every now and then.
This other posting says a fridge covered with magnets, but specifically the fruit and vegetable ones, which were actually more decorative than anything else since they were sucky magnets and wouldn't hold anything to the fridge. Also, do you remember the giant wooden spoon and fork?
Yes.
Some people would have those
displayed on the wall. Yeah,
It's kind of an older generation thing.
like with plates, decorative plates.
Furniture covered in plastic has to be on there.
Here's another one that says drinks and condiments inside the fridge that had clearly been in there for decades, but that she said were still good and refused to throw out.
There's your flat soda.
Yeah, there's your flat soda, exactly. Here's another one. And also in her fridge, Grandma's fridge, lots of Cool Whip and Country Crock containers that have all types of food in it except whipped cream and butter.
Yep.
There was makeshift Tupperware.
Yeah.
When my mom passed away and we were clearing out everything in the house and just kind of giving a big clean, she would take Carvel ice cream containers and she would make gravy in advance because she was a Southern cook. And we had like 10 Carvel containers of frozen gravy in the refrigerator. It was hilarious.
At my grandmother's house, she always used to do the Folgers instant coffee. WMMR.
Thanks, Marissa. Camp Out for Hunger starting on Monday. Just a reminder, and we're going to reiterate this message that, our corporate donations are probably going to be down this year. We've been kind of given an advance warning on that. So we are reaching out to you once again to help if you can. It's more urgent than ever this year. So just a heads up. And we're planning on having fun, having a good time. There's going to be, an undertone the whole time with the loss of Pierre Robert. And we're hoping that maybe we can all channel our sense of grief into a sense of giving and help donate to a cause that was so special to him as well.
I mean, I'm not overstating the fact that this was the event Pierre sunk his soul into. He loved the Camp Out for Hunger. It meant so much to him, and it was reflective of just about every aspect of Pierre that made him so wonderful.
Yeah.
So in as much as that's the case, we're going to do it the way we've always done it, with a little bit more, as you said, Preston. There will be this thing in our hearts that's missing. But, again, I love the notion of treating it as a homecoming for people, and we'd love to see you out there. I think if we could all see each other and just spend some time together, it would be wonderful.
And I think we're going to have a rotating cast of staff members in Pierre's time slot. So we'll get you the details on that later, but there's lots of great nighttime stuff coming up, too, with Comedy Night and Quizzo and Food Trucks and Fireworks. Probably going to be a very special tribute that night as well. And Casey, you look like you were milking something. What was that?
That's driving.
Okay, and what is that in reference to?
You said you wanted to hammer home the parking situation. Because
thank
Monday
you.
night there's a concert. Tuesday night there is a Sixers game. Wednesday night there is a Flyers game. But there is free parking. You just have to make a donation first.
Yeah, so you pull in, and it's right off of Pattison. Don't pull into the parking lots per se, right next to what used to be Xfinity Live is now Stateside Live. You'll see signs and everything. You pull in. Make your donation. If you need to find out, the parking is directly across the street in the S lot by Citizens Bank Park. If you need help finding that, our volunteers are going to do that. Our pink shirts and everybody else are going to guide you over that way. But just make the donation first, and then you'll be able to park for free because there's a concert Monday night. There's a couple of games. There's hockey. There's basketball.
I love this idea.
All that.
You hit this, and because honestly, it's a savings, and you just make a donation. You're going to do a good. You're going to be rewarded for doing something good, and then of course, Preston, the earlier part, there will be milking stations.
I didn't know that. Wow. See, we keep adding these things. I didn't even realize.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you were going to the Sixers and the Flyers game, make a donation first.
Yes.
That's what. Listen, we just said it. Do it. It makes the most sense.
Take advantage of it.
Yes.
For sure. All right. Speaking of parking and driving and all that stuff, I saw this interesting article yesterday. It was out of Florida.
Where in Florida?
Orlando.
Okay.
Orlando. So it has to do with crossing guards. And there was a local TV station that dove into the fact that there were a number of crossing guards either hit or killed in the last 10 years, but there's no official source that tracks that data nationwide. So they started to dive into some research on this, and I was surprised to see how many crossing guards have been hit by cars, and not just hit and kill, but hit and injured or glanced or whatever it happens. But apparently the article said it's highly paid but highly dangerous.
Yeah, I believe it.
I didn't know you could be highly paid by being
I want to know what you get.
a crossing guard. I wasn't aware of that, if that is indeed the case, or there's just kind of a splashy headline. But yeah, it said something in the neighborhood of like 225 incidents of a crossing guard being hit.
So I know you can go one or two ways in this. Any school flashing lights I stop to a crawl. I'm like nervous as hell. I want to do everything by the book and make sure that whoever the kids crossing, whatever, everyone's safe. Right. I know other people that when that happens, we've heard about this phenomenon. If there's blinking, road flares off to the side of the road, they get distracted and actually veer towards that.
Right.
So
like a moth to
those
the
are the
flame.
two things. So I wonder if this is the case in the nervousness or not knowing what to do, or it's just, I'm sure just a percentage of reckless driving. But it always occurred to me that, that could be a potentially dangerous thing to be doing, like doing road work,
Right. Yes.
All right, so but the crossing guards but not students, or is it?
Says students. No, I'm sorry. It says the crossing guards themselves are more in danger than the students.
Well, because they're the ones that will go out into the street with their little stop sign or whatever, and
they walk out first.
They walk out first, and I'm going to say, so there is a crossing guard where my kids went to school. They went to St. Pius X, and that's on Lawrence Road, and it's a busy road, and it's a fast road. When it's not school zone time, I think the speed limit is like 40 or 45 miles per hour. And at certain times of the day, especially when the school is closing, when you're heading, because there's a giant hill, when you're going up the hill, the sun is in your eyes.
So you're
a little bit sun blind.
That's a recipe for disaster.
But I also know that crossing guard or those crossing guards that work there, they will tell you to slow down and stuff. And the last point I want to make as I get up on my soapbox is, when there is a school zone and there is a traffic light in between school zones, they need to have a reminder light, because they only have one light in the beginning and a light at the end.
You think a little bit more notification would help?
Because listen, I got a ticket. There's in front of Cardinal O'Hara High School, the school zone starts before the traffic light, and I went to Taco Bell. And I came out and I got stuck at the light.
Okay.
And in that time that I was at the light and I was unpacking my taco, I forgot that I was in the school zone, right?
Well, it's easy to get distracted by a taco.
I'm just removing my taco from the officer. I'm removing my taco from the car.
Especially crunchy tacos, because they get a little messy.
Yeah.
No, but I forgot that I was in a school zone. And the same thing happens at St. Pius.
Your Honor, I was eating a taco.
The same thing happens in front of St. Dot's. There is a traffic light. There's an intersection in the middle of the school zone. And listen, it's easy to forget things like that. You know what I mean? So just maybe a reminder one that
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think you're not supposed to eat while you're driving.
Well, that's why I thought I was getting pulled over.
Specifically, like a two-hander, like a taco or something.
So, Preston, I know we want to get to the main point. Should there be in a school zone stations for taco eating?
Only on Tuesday. Let's stick with that. We'll start there.
Right.
All right. By the way, if any crossing guards are listening and you've been hit or had incidents like that, or a flagger for work site, 610-660-9333 is the number.
I got to admit, I'm a little distracted by the taco chat.
Me too.
But, I always thought the crossing guards were kind of cool. Like, there was something about them, and I was like, that's a bit of a badass job. I respect them. I'm also always curious, do crossing guards have other jobs? Or do they do other things within the school district? Or is that the only thing that they usually do?
The ones I usually see seem to be older. And maybe a retiree who has found this as a job and something to do in the meantime. But that's a good question. Can you be a full-time crossing guard? And sometimes you'll hear stories of a crossing guard who retired after 57 years on the job.
Beloved by the children. Did you ever see the movie You So Lost in America, right, with Albert Brooks?
It's been a long time, but yes,
he temporarily becomes a school crossing guard.
Yeah.
And the kids are just torturing him.
Are they horrible to him?
Yeah, but for that movie at that point, that's his job.
Yeah.
So
and it's usually just in the beginning of the day and the end of the day, right? Like right before school.
Yeah, and then obviously in the summer, I'm sure there's other things, but I'd be curious about that. I just think, as you initially pointed out, they're the first person to walk out into the street. like with people who are doing. Yesterday, we had a situation where the people doing road work, there are two guys who were handling the flow of traffic because they closed one lane. If you're not paying attention, that dude could easily get clipped. I don't care what kind of vest he's wearing, you know?
This is a ludicrous claim.
This is a bit of a pessimist here. Crossing guards are making kids dumb.
Shut up!
They are not teaching to stop and look. They stop the traffic for kids. It's infuriating.
It's infuriating.
You're infuriated by this.
Fury.
Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that they are helping save kids' lives.
Well, especially in high travel areas.
And toddlers.
They're just making sure that everybody's okay. Here's a text from somebody says, we used to have safeties, too.
Yeah, we had safeties.
Yeah, we did. Carter was a safety when he was a kid.
Oh,
You were? Really?
Yeah, what is a safety?
It's like a hall monitor. And you get to do it if you're a student. I think, Steve, when we were in elementary school, it was something that when you became a sixth grader in elementary school, you aspired to be a safety. And you'd basically make sure that the kids weren't running in the hall. Some kids took their safety duties really seriously.
Did you have a badge?
I had almost like a seatbelt thing that would like a sash that would go
Carter
over.
had that and a badge on it too.
Did they issue a sidearm?
No, stun gun. Yeah. I mean,
That's another conversation. If you ever had a badge,
Yes.
use that.
I did briefly.
I met a girl at the Pierre thing on Sunday, and the first thing she said to me, "I'm a safety." I was like, she was so proud of that, and I thought that was so cool. But the safety badges now are yellow. They were orange back in our day, right?
Yeah, the sash.
I don't know. I didn't have them back in my day, or at least in the schools that I went to. But, but Carter's was yellow. Yes.
My early schooling experience was the elder in my group warning us against saber-toothed tigers.
Okay.
Yes. He was your safety.
Yeah, that's my safety.
I'm going to go to Barb, a crossing guard. Hi, Barb. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's happening, Barb?
Well, it's cold out here today, but
Are you
I'm actually
currently
working while I'm talking to you.
Are you on the job as a crossing guard?
Yeah, my lights haven't turned on yet, but they will in a couple minutes.
All right. So what do you want to tell us?
It's dangerous. People don't pay attention. I've got high school kids come through here who don't pay attention to the fact that they don't care. You know, they're high school kids.
Yeah.
But people just don't pay attention. They're in a hurry. I stop traffic, and there's people just don't see me with my big yellow vest and my stop sign, and they just go.
Have you ever been hit? You ever been clipped or brushed?
No, but I've had 10 near misses in the school years early.
10 near misses.
Near misses. Wow. Yeah. So what's the one thing? What drives you most crazy about people who aren't paying attention? What's something that's just unexcusable?
Just the speed limit.
Speed limit.
Just observe the speed limit.
In fact, they travel the road every day. They know it's a crossings that, they know.
So
flashing lights are there.
Anybody ever yell or flip you off, Barb?
Oh, yeah. I just shrug my shoulders and look at them because they're speeding, and they flip you off.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk about not being easily spotted, and it's kind of thing I say. So what is your garb as a crossing guard? What are you wearing to stand out?
I have a big yellow vest on, and I've got the big old yellow hat and my stop sign.
Yeah.
I think the hat needs to be bigger. I think it needs to be like a sombrero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or one of those giant foam cowboy hats?
I love that. A giant foam cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on. I don't like hats to start off
You don't
with.
like hats?
I
All
don't
right.
like hats.
Thank you, Barb. Appreciate it. I'm going to go to Mel. Hi, Mel. Good morning.
Good morning. It's your favorite BTS Army Mel.
Oh, hi there, Mel. What's up?
Not much. So I actually, about the job, my Irish dance teacher, her other job was crossing guard at a school district near us. She ran full-time an Irish dance school, and she also was a crossing guard, but also she got hit by a car because someone fell asleep at the wheel. Luckily, she was okay, but she did break her arm. So, yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, you're stepping out into traffic. Now, let me ask you on a side note, would she make the kids step dance across the I mean, because she's
You know, she might have two of the students that were both.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be so.
Clack. I'd stop.
You just have to stop and watch that. It's like a little river dance performance.
All right. Thank you, Mel. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought we had heard, going back to what Nick was asking about, being able to have this as a profession. I thought I'd heard aside from crossing guards, but flaggers can actually make a pretty good living. I thought remembered hearing
I think
that.
you're right. Is that for the very fact that it is a dangerous thing? Listen,
I'm going to guess so because it doesn't look. It's not a lot of intense work.
Yeah. Do you know what upsets me? And I get collecting charity. I understand you want to be involved and you want to be in a high profile situation so you can collect the money. But I saw them back here on City Line at what I consider a very active intersection right here outside of 6 ABC.
Yeah,
and they're in. These kids were collecting. I guess they were wearing maybe for the football team. They all appeared to be wearing their football jerseys.
Yeah,
and they're walking in and out of cars.
They shouldn't be doing that.
And it's to me, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. We did that when I played for Fatima football, and my intersection was 420 and Franklin Avenue, and you just walked around collecting money in your football helmet.
Yeah, I mean,
20% went to the team, 80% went to me.
Casey's kids are walking through moving traffic.
Yeah.
Steve, next time do the old man yelling at him.
You kids!
Yeah.
In my day, I battled saber-toothed tigers. Rye bread.
I'm going to go to Melissa. Hi there, Melissa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's happening, Melissa?
So my mom was a crossing guard for 32 years. She
Wow.
retired last year to take care of her mother. But when I was in 6th grade, so we're talking early 90s, she was crossing a kid over the intersection where she was at, and she actually tripped over one of those concrete medians that are in the middle of intersections sometimes.
Yeah.
And it got called in that she was hit by a car.
Oh.
So when it got called in, they had helicopters, they had cops, they had ambulance, they had the whole shebang coming to her location. When she actually just basically tripped, her foot didn't come up high enough to go on.
Did SWAT show up?
It could have been. I don't know. But when she went down, she put her hand out and she actually dislocated her elbow.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Dude.
In a cast after that. But some of the stories that she would tell me, I would get angry because I'm like, no one's hitting my mom on her job. I'm
So
like, don't make me come up there.
She was, in fact, hit by a car now and then, or clipped, or brushed?
No, well, they would basically ignore her and continue through. She would be out in the intersection, have her hands up and everything. And she was in an area, because we're in Delaware, she was in a richer area crossing, and people would just go by her with no, existence of her being in the road.
So, Melissa, real
I
quick.
told her at one point, yes.
We were asking that question whether or not can this be a full-time job? Was this part-time? What were her hours like?
So she was considered part-time. She worked for Newcastle County of Delaware. And she had the basic hours of what school is in. So she would work typically, I think it was about 6:37 until about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then she would go in the afternoon for when school's let out. She was off all, school breaks. So when the kids weren't in school, she didn't work.
All right, so it's during the summer, so she had a second job?
No.
Oh.
They would actually get unemployment.
Oh, wow. Okay, because she had one job that she could, and without it, she would collect
Yes.
unemployment. Okay. Interesting.
And she only worked, I think it was vaguely about 32 hours. It was right below to where they did not get health benefits.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So whatever that line is, that where you can't get health benefits if you don't work over this many hours.
Yeah,
So they were
okay.
32, 35, somewhere in that area.
All right. Interesting. All right. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. There was a text that came in. Nick just fielded. It says, former crossing guard, only worked 3 to 4 hours a day. Pay was about $15 an hour, but we were union.
So does that get you benefits?
So that might get you benefits.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. But that's not a lot of hours to work. And I don't know if you can work part-time and get benefits if you're in a union.
It might vary
I have
by
no
state,
idea.
too,
They give you Celtic step dance lessons. I know that's part of this.
Hang on, Nick.
You make sure you get those.
There was another one. Hang on a second here. It says, my grandmother's husband is a crossing guard. Sometimes I wish he would just get hit by someone as he was doing his job.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right.
Why didn't you become a crossing guard? I got a good idea. Become a crossing guard.
Let me go to Greg next. Greg, good morning, You are on the air.
Good morning, you.
Good morning to see you. What's up, Greg?
Hey, a two-parter for you. So, one, I cut through Haddonfield sometimes, or just anywhere. Some of these crossing guards, they just walk out in the middle of the street. They don't even look. you know. So
That's
their
dangerous.
Stop sign is like a shield, and like people are just going to stop randomly as they're, as kids just approach the corner. And then going on to what Steve was saying about the flashy lights, I live in Glassboro, so Rowan Boulevard. You would think that they're in college and they would be somewhat intelligent, but these guys are like complete idiots. They push the button and just walk out in the middle of the street. Like, it's not a stop sign.
Right.
It's not anything. It's a courtesy thing saying, "Hey, I'm waiting to cross the street. Please stop."
Well, hang on though, Greg, because there is it's in the middle of the road on Lancaster Avenue in Ardmore. Is there a sign that says you must yield to pedestrians? Because there is a sign there. It's not a stop sign, but it is a road sign that basically says if there is somebody who wants to cross the street here, you got to stop.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't look. They don't. They just think that people are just going to randomly stop.
Out of your own caution, you do need to look.
You should
before
look.
you step out there. Yeah.
A lot of times, though, people are focused on the taco.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
I'll
Greg.
get off my soapbox as well. Have a good day, guys.
Appreciate it, bud. By the way, so Florida, as I've mentioned before, at least in the areas where my mom and sister live, St. Petersburg and also Clearwater, they got it figured out. They have, when there are busy roadways for a pedestrian crosswalk, you push the button and it immediately, strobe lights come on.
Yes.
And everybody else has to stop.
And they pay attention.
And you have the right of way without question.
And so they've been also trained to do it so that anticipation, if they see you standing alongside of the road, they assume you're going to do that.
Yeah, but Greg is right. Like, you as a pedestrian, you really do have to look out for yourself and not assume. And because I'm a cyclist as well, and so when I'm coming up through intersections, and that's why I hate tinted front windows. Like, eye contact with the driver is super important. And when you're walking in a parking lot, you're walking on like a road or whatever, you as a pedestrian, you do need to protect yourself and pay attention.
Yep.
I'm getting off my soapbox.
Let me go to I've got Ryan, who actually runs a flagging crew, who's on with us. Hey, Ryan, good morning, brother.
Hey, Preston, Maryland, and Steve.
PMS. What's up, buddy?
How you doing? Yeah, I just heard you guys talking about, can you make a living as a flagger?
Yeah.
So I run the flagging crews at James D. Morrissey Construction Company. We do paving work all over the place. And we're in the laborers union. So they make, $30-something an hour.
Wow.
To flag.
And benefits from the union?
And benefits from the union, pension, annuity fund. It's literally a career.
And
it's extremely dangerous.
Okay.
Extremely.
I believe it.
You're standing in the middle of the road. You're holding a stop sign.
Yeah.
And people are driving 5,000-pound weapons at you.
Yeah. So how many hours a week usually is somebody working?
So from March or April to October or November, totally depending on weather, temperatures, because that's what paving depends on.
Yeah.
You're working 40, 60, those guys doing doubles.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
year round?
You can make, like I said, from March or April to October or November, and then you're laid off in the wintertime. Like the other guy said, you get unemployment.
All right.
It's $550 a week or so unemployment. And during the season, you're making, in your check, you're seeing 800 to if the guys are doing doubles and 60 hours a week, you're looking at 1,500 a week.
Are there a lot of people lined up for these positions, or is it tough to get one?
So it's through the union, right?
Yep.
I've been doing this for 20-something years. So I line people up before the season to do it. A lot of the people come back. I've had guys who are doing it same amount of time as me or more. I say guys, men or women.
Sure. Yep.
But yeah, it's a real career. It's extremely stressful, and a lot of people can't do it. I've had people, right? The one time we were up in Newtown, and I had a young guy, and he set up over the winter time to have him come, trained him, did all that stuff. He got there about 2 hours into the shift. He calls me and he says, I'm all done. I can't do this.
Can't do it.
Wow.
Let me ask you, Ryan, have you ever been swiped? Do you know of anybody who is hit or killed while doing this job?
I've been hit 3 times while doing this job. When I used to actually have to stand in the middle of the intersections and flag and stuff. Twice. 2 of the times that I got hit, the people who were driving the car got paid for the damage that my body did to their car, and I got nothing.
What?
The next time I'm not kidding, because I didn't fall on the ground and cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I literally, after that second time, the third time it happened, which the person actually did get in trouble that time because I got their license plate number. I told the police, like, you call the police, and most of the time they're just like, oh, we can't do anything. But if you get their license plate number, they'll send them a ticket. You know what? Like that, they will do that. But like, I never got seriously hurt, and honestly, anyone that I work with never got seriously hurt or killed.
Well, that's good
because we do things the right way.
Right.
You know, there was an effective campaign for flaggers and for people doing road work, and it was a sign that it basically said, if not for the workers, for their children waiting for them at home, or I forget exactly how it was phrased, but it was like, you know, they want to go home at the end of the day. Please be aware.
They want you as a driver to think of a flagger as a person, not a traffic light or a stop sign.
I remember the Give Them a Break campaign.
Yes, that was it. Yeah. All right. Wow.
All right, Ryan. Appreciate the peek into your world, man. Thanks for the call.
You got it.
Do you know what I see with an application here? So during the downtime, he was talking about during the months he could not work, a flagger. A flagger could offer his services to a woman going out on a date and literally go there with red flags.
Bing.
Yeah.
And green flag.
Yeah. When the guy says he collects Smurfs or whatever.
Yeah.
Bing.
Literally hold up a red flag. Casey, I have a weird question for you.
Okay.
Have you secretly wanted to get hit by a car?
Never.
Okay.
No.
I'm just curious because sometimes
wanted to get shot.
Casey will say these. Yeah, you want to get shot in the butt and
with a 22.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm like terrified of it. So when I was I must have been like 8 or 9 years old, played Little League baseball, and during my game, kid got hit by a car maybe 30 feet from where I was. It was one of the most terrifying moments, and I didn't even get hit, but this kid got hit by a car that was going probably 35, 40 miles per hour.
Oh my God.
He lived. He ended up just breaking his leg. And then my other friend, Rob, got hit by a car. And the terrifying thing for me for that one was that they had to take his pants off because he had a broken leg. I was like, oh, my God. So he was there in his underwear, like for everybody to see. So, like, not only is the pain terrifying, but the embarrassment of being there in your Transformers underwear.
Of course, if you're a kid, it makes more sense than if you're a full-grown adult.
All right, I want to go to one more call. We have Rebecca, who is a flagger as well. Hey, Rebecca, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Preston.
Hey, what's happening, Rebecca?
Hi, so I am a flagger. I work for Road Safe, and our is Road Safe to Home Safe is our slogan. I have almost been hit multiple times. Actually, in the last few weeks, I was in Bristol, and I was trying to stop someone coming out of a Wawa lot, and I stood in front of his car and screamed stop, and he still came at me.
Whoa!
Yeah, and yesterday, in New Hope or Doylestown, I was in Doylestown, and I'm standing in the road, and I'm trying to stop the traffic, and this woman's flying down. They must be so distracted. I stood in the stop, and I screamed stop at her, and then she came right up against my sign before she stopped her car.
Jeez!
Wow.
And I'm like, and so when something like that happens, I will purposely let my other flagger send his traffic. I will stop you, and I will keep you there, and I will let my other flagger send his traffic.
Yeah, you have the power at that point. Absolutely.
Man,
wow.
Pissed me off.
Rebecca, this is a full-time job for you?
Yes, I work 40 hours. Currently, I'm working 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, and they do have the options if I want to work weekends.
And question, are you union like a couple of the other callers we had?
No, we are non-union,
actually,
and so we don't make nearly as much as they do. I wish we did.
Okay. But it sounds like you like from day to day, you get sent all over the place.
We do. We get bounced all over the place. We can even go to 2 or 3 different work sites in one day.
Oh, wow.
Now, my goal is if you're coming through my work site, and if I can make you smile coming through my work zone, I win.
Yeah.
Do you flash them?
Nobody is happy to go through a construction zone. Never.
No.
So
Yeah.
if you're smiling, I'm paying attention to you and I'm making eye contact with you, and I win because you smiled.
No, that's nice.
Hey, with the smile and the eye contact, anybody ever flirt with you when they drive by, Rebecca?
Yes, sometimes. I actually had a woman, somebody tells me, and they sometimes flirt, but not really. It's more like a friendly flirt.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, because I dance around when I'm listening to music, so I'm dancing, so I'm active.
I love it.
And I've had a couple of my coworkers, they've videoed me to send them to their family members because they think I'm like the happiest flagger they've ever met. It's kind of hilarious.
The happiest flagger in the world.
But I really enjoy what I do, to be honest.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's terrific.
You win then.
Yeah.
That's great.
I get paid to play in traffic.
Yeah,
Love
but
it.
stay safe.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, man. Especially when you talk about the exponential amount of distractions with texting and driving and all the stuff that's occurring right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do that, but I always wanted to be one of those sign spinner guys.
Oh, like in front of a recently opened business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just twirl it around, spin it behind
You'd be good
it,
at
and
that,
stuff
too.
like that. I would eventually get in my groove.
Yes, you would.
That's a dream of mine.
Absolutely. Well, we can make
Maybe
it
I'll do it
happen.
at the camp out.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody bring out a sign and let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, they'd have to teach me some of the tricks.
Is the sign you think on a handle?
No, I have seen those, but I like the ones that you can flip around. I guess you can do both. Even with the handle, you can flip. But they, there was a guy at Plymouth meeting a couple of times. I pulled up off of Plymouth Road and sat there and just was in amazement watching what this guy could do.
It's an
with a
art.
sign. Yeah, it was like a almost like a color guard, with using rifles and flags and stuff like that. Oh, there's competitions we found out.
This one's in
Look at
Vegas.
this. Where's this, Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, I know what I'm watching later on today.
They're good.
Excellent. All right, well, listen, we've got to take a break. Thank you for the calls. We do appreciate it. And, folks, if you're on the road, I know you can get distracted, but if you see somebody walking out with a sign or a safety vest on, watch out because they're out there all the time, and it's very, very dangerous. We're going to take a break. We'll get back. We have some bizarre file stories that we are going to chalk up next. Stay with us.
So she would make one cup at a time. So all of those Folgers cans turned into what the nails went in.
Oh, there you go.
All
Yeah.
the bric-a-brac.
Yeah, I
went
remember
into
coffee
those.
cans for nails. My dad had that. Yeah. Let me go to Michael. Hey, Michael, good morning.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock.
Thanks, man. What's up, Michael?
Well, two things. Well, one about myself, but one as part of my profession. I've been a nurse for over 30 years, specialized in geriatrics, worked at, say, the Philadelphia Corporation for Aging for years, and always would go into the seniors' homes and ask if we could look in their medicine cabinet. And there was always a standard.
Okay.
You had the rusted can of Barbasol.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You had that little thing to make the the cream, the little container with the little brush for shaving.
Okay. Yep.
The straight razor with the screw bottom with the rusted blades still sitting there making a stain inside the
Rust
cabinet.
is big with the the older community.
People don't remember those kind of razor blades where you actually had to take the blade out and then screw it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. My favorite was when they had the very early electric shavers that looked more like instruments of death than they did something that we would use nowadays. The blades just were scary.
Yeah.
But that, and then of course my favorite was the medication with hand-typed labels that had been in there so long it had gone from pill to powder to a mist, back to powder, and back to a pill again, like every antibiotic.
It had gone through 9 half-lives. Yeah, no, that sounds exactly accurate. Yeah.
But for myself, going to see my grandparents who lived in Florida, we always had the hot dogs and the freezer-burned crinkle fries.
All right. Fair enough.
Freezer burn, yeah.
The way of entertaining myself was I would steal one of my grandfather's white undershirts, dental floss, and pennies, and I would make parachutes and throw them off the second floor of their apartment building.
That's great.
Yes.
Very creative.
All right, Michael. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You know what I most vividly remember, most clearly remember, from my grandparents' house was not anything in their house, but what we used to do over there. And for whatever reason, I was like I was like an actress when I was younger. I like to pretend and all this stuff. And I would make my brother pretend that we were hitchhiking because my grandparents lived in an apartment. So there was like, where you would park. My mom would like let us walk down the street before she got to the main road. And so I would pretend we were hitchhiking and we didn't know my parents. And my brother was so little at the time and he used to cry and be like, no, that's our mom. And I'd be like, no, it's not. We're hitchhiking. We're getting in with strangers.
So you'd play with the neighborhood. Yeah.
Wow.
I would make my mom, drive past us and I'd like wave her down with my thumb out.
Wow. That's nice. I will go next to, let me go to Paul. Hey, Paul, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, Paul?
Oh, MMR rocks, partner. Trust
Thanks.
me.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, look, I'm old school for sure.
Okay.
But what I remember at my grandparents' house, man, they lived in the country. They lived in Blackwood, New Jersey a long time ago.
All right.
And they actually had a well in the house.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
A well inside.
I mean, when we wanted water, we would have to go to the well, which was just offside the kitchen. And it was a well that we had to let the bucket down and bring it up.
Dude.
And use water like that. And that's what I always remembered about my grandparents' house.
Paul, I'd be amazed as a kid. I'd be amazed now to see that old school. Did you end up playing with that a lot?
Oh, say that again, please.
Did you end up playing with the well a lot? Because it's a freaking well.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, man. I mean, it was and the water was ice cold.
Yeah.
The water was ice cold.
Probably from a cold spring.
Every time we needed water, we would go down and go right outside the kitchen, let the bucket down, bring it back up, and use the water as we needed it.
That's amazing. So there was no plumbing in the house then, right? Or was that just an ancillary? Was that? I mean, was actual?
I'm telling you, I'm 70 years of age.
Yeah.
So when we went down to our grandparents' house, we had to go to an outhouse, which was off the house a ways, and the whole setup.
Oh, that's wild,
man.
Yeah. But the one thing I truly remember was that there was a well
that in the house. Well, that's a great story.
That might have been the
Paul.
height of
Appreciate it.
Their well is in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandparents didn't have a well in their house, but they had a sump pump that I was terrified of. It was in a corner of this dingy, musty, dark basement.
They've got a robot down there.
It would make noises, and it just looked imposing to me, and I seriously thought that it went to hell or something like that. That there were demons in there or something like that.
Like Amityville 3D has near the sump pump, there was a hole that went to hell.
You know what else my grandparents had? Down by the sump pump, they had a small set of shelves that they would keep emergency food there for whatever reason. It was all canned stuff that had been there.
This is pre-prepper.
It was already ancient when I was a little kid. And it looked disgusting.
Yeah, of course.
And I wouldn't venture to that part of the basement too often.
Wow, that sounds like
It scared me.
Did they have the piece of furniture that terrified you, or was it your parents?
No, that was my parents.
Okay,
we had a chair that I was scared of. It looked like the evil queens. It had a high back. It was black with gold trim on it. It had really high. It was a decorative chair. And I used to think that, like Maleficent sat in that. Thing or something like
what
that.
if you came home one day and the sump pump was sitting in the chair?
I would have left my family. Kathy, on this list, it says the fancy for guests living room that was filled with plastic-covered furniture and you weren't allowed to play in.
Yeah, never got that.
And, there's a lot of pictures on this list, which I wish you guys could see, because there's one, it says these exact wooden and cork coasters in their dining or living room. And I want to show you a picture of these. And yes.
Yep.
Where you pulled them out of the little container that they lived in.
Yeah, it was like a little
holder.
Yeah.
I think it was like stacked poker chips.
Yeah.
On that furniture thing, with the covering in plastic, I never got a definitive answer. The Kostanowiczes, and I was friends with Randy up the block. his entire living room everything was sealed, hermetically sealed in plastic. But I never asked the question: is the end result just to preserve the looks of the furniture?
I think it is.
But I mean, was there ever a hybrid where you could take them off if you wanted to sit on them? It seemed like going against purposes to sit on cold plastic.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was maybe for a formal event, like they would unzip the plastic and let if they were going to have several people in the parlor or whatever it is. Kathy, I remember because you were the one that brought it up. I remember some friends who not only had the plastic on their furniture, but they had like a runner.
The runner.
Yes, plastic cover.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that.
Oh my God. So that wasn't my grandparents' house. My grandparents didn't have the plastic covered furniture. It was my piano teacher. And everything in the room where I guess she would have her clients come and she would teach piano, everything was covered in plastic. And the runner went from the front door and you had to walk on it
into the kitchen?
Into the living room. And then you had to walk through the living room to the piano. There was another runner. Like she basically didn't want anyone's dirt anywhere in her house.
And the runner was plastic covered.
Plastic. Yep.
Wow.
So we actually did not have any of our furniture covered in the plastic, but we did have a runner that came from the front door to the kitchen, to the tiled kitchen floor, and that was, you had to stay on that. That was the thing. So
was it plastic?
It was plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to things you find at your grandmother's house, or maybe stuff that you played with at your grandparents' house as well. I'm going to go to Joe. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Okay.
Joe, you're on the air, buddy. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's going on, my man?
Hey, thank you for having me on. It's the first time I ever called you. Listen, I'll try to preface this really quick.
All right.
My mom was 36 when she had me.
Okay.
And we ended up living with my grandparents, so they were much older.
Okay.
And they were from Italy. And so they made and did everything. They even dug out their own basement. It's really wild.
Wow.
But what I remember most from my grandfather is he had an old-time cigarette rolling machine, which looked like two little horses, like a construction horse, with a piece of cloth that looped between, and you would put the paper in there, and he would put his tobacco in there, and you would spin the paper inside the cloth, and that would roll the cigarettes up.
That sounds pretty cool.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, it seems like a very old world way of rolling a cigarette.
Yes, it was really neat. I mean, the whole entire house, everything, you could eat off the whole entire yard. I'm serious. When they went to the store, the only thing they would buy is milk and meat, and that was it.
Milk and meat.
Yeah, they made, canned, pickled, did everything.
Wow.
So it was just a
Joe, did your grandfather teach you how to roll cigarettes?
Well, yes, he did. And as a cause of that, I ended up doing that an awful lot when I was in high school.
I bet.
He ended up, do you remember the old credit card machines where you used to slide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a cigarette rolling machine that was like that. It was like the new one.
Like one motion across and it would roll it?
Yes, and would roll it out perfect.
I remember that unit. I remember they used to sell those in magazines. You'd see it in Preston. They'd be like in the back of like a National Lampoon. So it wasn't necessarily for tobacco, but it was a popular item. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, isn't it? It's really the things you remember, from when you're young.
Yeah. And what you had to do to entertain yourself. By the way, thank you, Joe. I appreciate the call. I had at my parents' house. My grandfather had a substantial. He was a carpenter.
Yeah.
So it was what he did on the side. So he had all kinds of tools and stuff back there. And I remember for a while, and I might have been like 10 years old. I started playing with his jigsaw. Just finding pieces of wood and cutting it and just doing whatever. And I would play with that. That was
kill
my
some time.
Toy. Yeah. But you had to find things to entertain yourself with. If there wasn't something on television, like I said, this is obviously pre-phones and actually a lot of pre-video game days. You just had to kind of root around and see what you could find to entertain yourself for a little bit.
The houses weren't set up for kids.
Yeah.
It was set up, you had the big clump of butterscotch by the front door, and there were the standards meant for very old people.
Or the strawberry candies. I remember just grabbing the snuffer, the candle snuffer, and walking around the house and putting out fake candles.
Right.
Like they weren't lit, but I would still put it out.
Yep. Here's a couple other things from this list, which are things you always find at your grandmother's house. an old coffee percolator that she only ever used for parties, her recipe card library that sat on the kitchen counter.
Oh, man. My Aunt Mary has one. Aunt Mary's still alive. I think she's 90 now. She lives in Willow Grove, and Preston has an entire dresser drawer filled with recipe cards.
All right.
And at this point in our family, it's kind of like gold. Like,
Sure.
it's
Oh,
stuff
my
that she's
God,
been making
yeah.
for decades and decades and decades. I'd love to get my hand on them.
For Christmas a few years ago, my uncle copied my grandmother's recipes and
that's
laminated
cool.
them and gave them
Oh,
to
what a great idea. That's
good.
bunches. But then I saw one recently where you can somebody put it on a cutting board. So they had it like
that's a great
lasered
idea.
into a cutting
That's
board.
Oh, I
Isn't that
love
really
that.
sweet?
I like that.
My grandmother had given the family a book of her favorite sex positions.
Okay.
And it was really...
That's nice.
It was so nice. That's the way Gum Gum used to do it. Oh, my
She modeled the photos in
Yeah,
there.
absolutely, yeah.
Here's another one. A bowl of nuts that seemed to always have been the exact same ones, and you wondered if anyone ever ate them.
Yeah.
So there'd be like walnuts and Brazilian nuts and,
Macadamia
pecans,
nuts.
pine nuts and all that stuff in there. No, I remember with nut crackers. With
yes.
in there. Yeah.
Oh, there were nutcrackers at my grandmother's house, absolutely.
My dad would eat them. It didn't matter how long they'd been there.
And he wouldn't even use a nutcracker, just bite into them.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will go to Jamie. Hey, Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, Jamie?
So my grandfather's favorite candy was a Fifth Avenue bar, and he used to keep a bowl of them in a china cabinet that had sliding glass doors. And it was nearly impossible to get those doors open without anyone realizing or hearing the glass doors clanging together. So I can remember standing there for 40 minutes, just trying to get one little Fifth Avenue bar out of the cabinet. But fast forward to my adulthood. I mean, my grandparents died when I was younger, but took my kids to the Ocean City Boardwalk. And, I had toddlers at the time, but let them go into the candy store, and there's everything under the rainbow there in the candy store. All the colorful lollipops, and they could pick anything. And my 2-year-old picked up a Fifth Avenue bar, and, they don't have very fancy wrappers, just a plain brown wrapper. But that was what he chose in the candy store. And it felt like my grandfather was there.
Oh, that's
for
great.
My kids.
Yeah,
he
that's
could
cool.
have had anything, and he chose the Fifth Avenue bar.
I like that. Nice. All right. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Here's one that I remember doing when you were. All right. Bizarre File time. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Bud Light. Join Marissa Magnata tonight.
Yay!
7 to 9 for the Bud Light Thursday night kickoff at Founding Fathers on South Street. And you can enter for your chance to win a pair of Eagles tickets. That's courtesy of Bud Light. Well, a couple of professors at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, became suspicious over students and their use of artificial intelligence to cheat. Carl Flanagan, Wade Flanagan, Schneider, known on Instagram as the Data Science Duo, decided that it was finally time to confront their introductory data science students with their suspicions. Shortly thereafter, after the mea culpa emails came back from dozens of undergraduates taking the class and even fudging some attendance, and there was a glaring problem, though. The letters of apology had been written by artificial intelligence.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't know what kind of a follow-up there's going to be to this story, but they cheated using AI and they apologized using AI.
I just read the follow-up. It was written by AI.
It was, exactly. So we had the texter in that was incensed about how crossing guards are making kids dumb.
Yeah.
How about AI making kids dumb? You just plug it in. Oh, my God. All right. The married couple arrested is a follow-up for allegedly joining the Mile High Club in view of other JetBlue passengers has actually gotten off.
Yes, of course.
Of course. Prosecutors have declined to pursue felony charges against Trista Riley and Christopher Arnold, both in their early 40s, who were en route to Sarasota from New York City when they engaged in lewd or lascivious exhibition, according to a probable cause statement. Following the pair's arrest by Sarasota Airport Authority Police, prosecutors consented to the defendant's release of their own recognizance while they investigate jurisdiction. Now, that case review resulted, the court notices revealing that prosecutors had dropped the criminal charges. The court filings did not cite a reason for the declination or whether the decision was related to legal question of jurisdiction. But a female passenger had told police that she was traveling with her 2 children when during the takeoff from JFK, she spotted a woman later identified as Riley, quote, jerking her male companion. Oh, yeah. She noticed that my 2 kids were watching them and they didn't stop. Oh, yeah. After that, she was laying on him as if she was doing oral
Who wants
sex.
Cheerios?
Yeah. Brian Zepp, a JetBlue flight attendant, told police that several youths and their mother had witnessed Riley and Arnold performing in sexual activity on board.
Well, that's wrong.
Zepp added that he walked to Miss Riley's seating area and witnessed her making up and down movements with her head while she was face down on Mr. Arnold's lap.
So, Preston, a friend of mine who occasionally checks out what they call, like, I guess, internet pornography, says that there are a whole bunch of these verite videos.
No.
Yes. It's a scourge.
Investigators noted that further investigation indicated that Ms. Riley was seen by 2 underage youths performing oral on Mr. Arnold. It is unknown if Riley, a medical receptionist, and Arnold, a general contractor, will be welcome on future JetBlue excursions. But they had witnesses.
Yeah.
They were seen doing this.
Yeah.
And they are not going to, the charges have been dropped.
Isn't the appropriate thing
Crazy.
to take that into the bathroom? Isn't that the classic Mile High Club?
That is
Now,
the classic.
If you are getting a hand job, are you then officially? I don't think that qualifies as the Mile High Club.
I don't know. An appeals court has upheld the dismissal of a lawsuit filed by a New Jersey woman who claimed that she was ridiculed and labeled a Karen by children at I Play America in Freehold, and that workers did nothing to stop the harassment. The 55-year-old woman claimed in court papers that she was attending a birthday party with her 2 minor children when an employee incorrectly told her that she did not meet the minimum height requirement. A woman told a worker that and his supervisor that she had previously been given access to the ride several times without issue. According to the lawsuit, while the employee and a manager were speaking with the plaintiff, children waiting in line behind her became upset and began to shout at her because of the delay, calling her a bitch and a Karen.
Oh, those kids are so cute.
The woman was terribly embarrassed and humiliated by these events and felt discriminated against because she was wrongfully denied access to the ride. After being denied access, the woman had to go back through the line, past the children who were yelling at her, and this caused her to feel terribly embarrassed and humiliated. Now, according to court documents, the mother's discomfort was magnified because her 2 children were present. The woman's lawsuit alleged that I Play America was negligent in not allowing her on the ride, and that the business breached its duty of care by not preventing other guests from yelling at her.
Should I Play provided a bitch and a Karen line?
A trial court dismissed the woman's lawsuit. The appeals court stated that it did not condone the children's derogatory comments. However, I Play America's responsibility to provide a safe environment does not extend to protecting patrons from derogatory and pejorative comments.
That's true.
Preventing certain communications between patrons is not feasible, the decision said. Unlike dangerous physical conditions that can be inspected and remedied, or criminal activity that can be deterred through security measures, verbal insults that occur spontaneously cannot be reasonably prevented, so she can't sue.
So I was at an amusement park over the weekend. I got into the dumbass line by accident, and I had meant to get on in the jerk-off line. And, you have to watch where you're going.
An 18-year-old was killed after he allegedly kicked another person's shopping cart.
Wow.
Delano Middleton, 48 years old, was arrested and charged with murder in the fatal stabbing of the 18-year-old identified as J.T. Schroeder.
Just for kicking the cart.
Yeah, police said that the confrontation began when a man was leaving the store with a shopping cart and Schroeder kicked it as he passed by. But Schroeder's father said that his son was never, ever confrontational unless he was confronted first, and that the police version of events does not tell the full story. Middleton was taken to the county detention center. This guy who was arrested has a criminal history, including prior arrest on aggravated assault, battery, and weapons charges.
Wow.
So I have a feeling that guy probably got the ball rolling on this whole thing. All right, and then we'll do one more story and wrap it up. A large healthcare system in Maine said it sincerely regrets an error that mistakenly sent condolence letters to patients about their deaths. Maine Health, a nonprofit system that includes hospitals, healthcare facilities, and clinics in Maine and New Hampshire, sent letters to 531 patients expressing condolences that included information on how next of kin could resolve their estates. These people weren't dead.
We are so sorry to hear about your death. Yes. How would you like the next of kin to be informed?
Yeah, that's like it's kind of how it plays out. A spokesperson said that an error in the computer system for generating estate vendor letters led to the mistake. The spokesperson added that the patients were never listed as deceased in their medical records. The problem has since been resolved, and apology letters were sent to all patients affected by the error.
I wonder, so if you received a letter like that and you were looking to go off the grid.
Good time to do it.
Yeah.
Good time. Maybe that's when you find you finally commit that crime you've always wanted to commit and get the hell out of town.
Absolutely.
All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. We are going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment or two. And don't forget, around 9 o'clock, we have director Dan Trachtenberg, Predator, Badlands, opens tomorrow. He'll be in here to talk about it. Coming back in a moment. Stay with us. To do at the parents' house, I'm going to go to EJ. Hi, EJ. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
So actually, this is going all the way back to my great-grandmothers who had a row home in Kensington.
Okay.
And so her stairs were just at the right angle, and they were carpeted. So we would actually go, and it was always Sunday dinner. So actually, I had the cousins to play with, and we would go up to the top and actually slide down the stairs.
Yeah, you could on your butt.
Yeah.
you could slide all the way down the
Yeah,
stairs.
if you lifted your feet up a little bit and straightened your feet up, and you could just all the way down.
Yep.
Hours and hours and hours. But
I used to love doing that.
yeah, but you reminded me. Actually, my grandfather had a woodworking shop in his basement. So when we would go over there, it was like Tool Central.
It's amazing house, and you'd be unattended. Yeah, go to I have a table saw in the basement. Go down and play with that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, EJ. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would go through. God, man, I was a nosy kid. I remember going through the bathroom at my paternal grandmother's house, and just going into their closet where all this stuff was, and they just had, like 10 bars of soap in there for whatever reason, and extra things, and I would just. I told you when my dad would take me to, to his work for whatever reason, I'd spend the entire time in the supply closet. That was just fun for me.
Look at this.
Look at these staples.
Like tons of staples.
Or the staple remover.
Oh, yeah, you could put
They're
your
like
finger
sharks.
on it.
Yeah. They were like, you can pretend it was a mouth or whatever, a little monster.
A little barracuda.
You can find stuff to play with.
Paperclip jewelry.
You do that too? Yeah, absolutely. Let me go to Terry. Hey, Terry, good morning. Hi, Terry. I'm sorry. There it is. What's up, Terry?
There we go. Hey, good morning. My grandparents had a corner store in their basement.
Okay.
And we could go down there and get anything we wanted.
What do you mean by a corner store? They did that like they were literally selling things, or you're just referring to it as a corner store?
No, they literally owned a corner store. The little Dagobah that you.
So they lived above it.
They lived above it, and they owned it, and they
lived on Dagobah
out of their homes.
They were living where Yoda lives?
Bodega.
You said Dagobah.
I know, Dagobah, which is Yoda's home.
This is a story.
And we could literally go down there and get, candy and toys.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Deli meats right off the slicer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The lightsabers.
Learn the Force.
Like the liverwurst you do.
They had all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I
love that, man.
He missed this
Yeah.
No, he's just smart, and he's just going forward.
He's not that smart.
Sorry.
He lived on Dagobah.
I got it. I'm a Star Wars fan, too.
See?
To have a store like that in your basement would have been like heaven. That's awesome.
So, Terry, did they allow you to go down and just take the stuff you wanted, and they'd take it out in inventory later on?
Yeah. The only thing we couldn't do is we couldn't actually slice the meats on the slices.
All right, that makes
good.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, Terry. You stay away from the deli cutter.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But everything else would be great.
All right, thanks.
But everything else, I mean, they even let us ring up people on the register.
I was wondering if they would let you guys do that.
Ring up customers, you will.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
All right, thanks,
Love
man.
it, man.
Appreciate it. Hang on. All right, sometimes you find something you don't want to find. I'm going to go to Gary. Hey, Gary. Good morning.
Well, I had a feeling you guys would save me for one of the last ones.
All right. Yeah, do tell, Gary.
It is not Gary, but they didn't want to use anonymous, so I'm gonna go with Gary.
All right, fair enough.
So I'm in my 40s now. I officially stopped looking through Grandma and Grandpa's stuff around the age of 12. Every time we were over there, we decided to go searching, and I found some really cool things. We always had a contest who could find the coolest thing and share it with, the other cousins.
Right.
And, well, one day we were in one of the guest bedrooms, and of course, we're challenging, well, we got to go somewhere we've never gone. And so we pulled out all the dresser drawers, and we were going deep. And we noticed on the way back, because, who doesn't look through their grandparents' photo album?
Sure, yeah.
So we found a photo album in the way back that we just never saw before. We're like, what is this? We open it up, and good old Grandma apparently had a nice X-rated photo session done.
Oh, my God.
Session.
Wow. Like how? X? Triple X? What are we talking?
Not triple X, but I got to see where my daddy came from.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
All right, and was it in her younger years, Gary, or was it more grandma age?
Was it like the deli meat at the bodega?
I would like to say that I was probably born at this point.
Okay.
Grandma
wow.
wasn't.
So she was
no
grandma.
matter what, even if Grandma was 20, I don't think I'd look at it the same. But yeah, and it was. Like, if you guys remember in the 80s, it was that blue, cloudy, black backdrop.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were, so I don't know, I can only presume they were professionally done, but
wow.
Of course, put that back, and I lost that day, and I didn't find anything exciting, so.
All right. At what point did you say anything to anyone, or did you hold on to this forever, or did you?
I held on to this for many years, and finally, when I was basically an adult, and we were moving my grandparents from their home to a retirement community, my aunt's like, oh, we need help. I'm like, I got stuff to do. I'm good. And they're like, why are you not helping? I'm like, look. And finally I told them. And basically they all said I was off my rocker. They're like, my mom would never do this. Oh, I beg to differ. So fast forward to, God rest their souls, they both ended up passing within like a year of each other in the past few years. But so my aunt calls me up and says, hey, we need you to, we're getting rid of stuff. Go through stuff. We've got family albums. And, of course, I hear that and I start twitching. So I said, look, I am not going through any photo albums until you go through them first. So she said, all right, fine. You're still being crazy. I can't believe you're not letting us go. Maybe a week goes by after they're cleaning stuff out. And all of a sudden I get the call. And she calls me up and says, I want to apologize. And I said, what happened? She's like, I found the photo album.
There you go. There you go.
So I had to ask. I'm like, what did you do with it? And I'm like, did you look through it? She's like, I had to. It was like a train wreck. And she said it went into our backyard, fire pit. She's like, no one will ever find them. They are gone with her.
Hey,
wow.
Let me ask you, Gary, do you guys get a group rate on therapy or?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing, Steve. Talking about this is literally like I'm cringing right now.
Oh, dude, I told you. I saw my grandmother topless, Flagler Beach, Florida. It lives with you. Yeah, it's nothing you can ever forget. So my heart goes out to you.
Wow. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Good luck with that, Gary. Wow.
Imagine that.
No.
Grandma, shoot.
And I guess they had to destroy it. She was gone,
Don't want to,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you save it, Kathy?
She'd save one picture.
No,
for the photo album, the family photo
I
album.
guess what the hell do you want naked pictures of grandma for? I don't know.
What if you find
We
out
have
that
no-
your relative, if you're going through things, is actually that large African American gentleman sitting on the edge of the bed?
Seriously, seriously.
That's it.
See, we don't have very many pictures. My mom was never good at taking pictures, saving pictures.
Likewise.
I told the story before, but she destroyed all my dad's pictures of with other girlfriends that he had. He was engaged before, and I always wanted to see what they look like. And he's like, "Oh, your mom made me get rid of them." So I keep pictures. I keep so many pictures.
Yeah, we've got loads of family photos from back in the day, and I love going back and looking at them.
That's why you are more inclined to do photo albums and
Yeah, I do
presentations
it.
and wall. It's in your blood.
Yeah, because I always enjoyed it.
Right.
It was one of the things. My mom had this big canister of just a hodgepodge of photos.
Yeah.
Right.
And every now and then, every once in a great while, we'd take them out and we'd throw them out on the floor and we'd start going through. They weren't arranged in any particular
Right.
way. And have a blast going through those. So, yeah, my sister always kept photo albums. So I did that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really do it anymore. You can easily create them.
Sure.
Through
Now-
laptops and programs.
Where it's easier than ever to do it, you do it less.
Yeah.
Because it's just always sitting there.
Yeah, but I think I should do some physical books, and you just
Right.
kind of set them out and have them there, and they're kind of fun to go through from time to time. We still got time for a couple of more. Let me go. Yeah, let me go with these are things you found at your grandparents' house or would play with at your grandparents' house. I'm going to go to Sean. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Hey, Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, dude. What's up?
So, in addition to the story I wanted to share, I think my grandfather may have been that photographer.
Oh,
All right.
No. Total joke.
All
Thoughts
right.
and prayers, though, Gary. My brother and I used to love the chairlift on my grandfather's stairs.
Dude, I
in
wanted.
Cheltenham. And he would not love when we would race it up and down the stairs. He also did not like when we would commandeer the remote control, so that when he would get like 75% of the way up, we would have him go back down and jostle him up and down a bit.
Sean, I kid you not. One year, I remember asking Santa Claus for one of those chairs. You know, I'm a kid, but it just looked like so much fun. Obviously, it's not fun if you're 90 and can barely get up one step. But what was so you would have the remote. Your grandfather would be going up the steps, and you'd be able to take control of it and start lowering it and F with him a bit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because the remote would I guess supersede the little lever on the chair in case something went wrong. He'd be inching up to the top to go to the bathroom or something, and we'd have him going back down. And then
I always wanted.
I always remember.
Sean,
thanks, man.
I always think in Preston, I think of the ones that would go up and then curve, like in the movie Gremlins.
Yeah.
So it goes up the steps and then it curves and then launches the granny out the window.
Yep.
My grandparents had a lot of furniture that was another piece, that was another item. So they had like a big credenza that was actually a radio when you'd open up the top.
The TV in the cabinet was a standard.
They also had a table that was a craps table, and these all took me years to find out. So
You had a craps table at home?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It was a craps table, but it was like covered in like bric-a-brac and tchotchkes
Did
and
you
all
say
sorts
your-
of little things.
The chopping block in your kitchen was also a Sibian.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Another one of those is bumper pool.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could put a top on it and it would become a table.
Sure.
I love bumper pool.
I hated bumper pool.
I loved it.
It took me way too long in life to find out. I opened up the lamp was on a table, so it was connected to the table. I
Right.
opened up the table bottom on one day, and there was a record player in there.
Okay.
And Abbey Road was sitting right there.
Oh, that's
So-
Here's a couple more on this list of things you always found at Grandma's house. A decorative bowl of plastic grapes that she had for at least
Wax
25
fruit.
years. Yeah.
Wax fruit, a perennial.
Very dusty.
I
Yeah.
remember I remember. All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Well, I think this is important. There have been a lot of breakthroughs and studies that have been done. And where do we learn about these? The Just Sayin Institute.
The Just Sayin Institute, home to the world's first school safety zone and taco stand research center.
Oh, yes. All right, I'm going to start with this. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, N-O-A-A, has issued a strong geomagnetic storm warning for today and tomorrow.
I saw a movie called Geostorm. It was a documentary, Preston, and the whole world was just really in peril.
What was that one about?
It was
I
a
don't know. I
horrible
didn't
movie.
see it.
It's terrible. Yeah.
So the event is linked to a coronal mass ejection from the sun that projected to reach Earth between tonight and tomorrow morning. The Space Weather Prediction Center classified the storm as a level G3, meaning conditions could cause notable disturbances in Earth's magnetic field. The burst is heading directly toward the planet, though its full strength remains uncertain. So the strength of the storm will be measured once it reaches the observation satellite located about 1.6 million kilometers from Earth. Data collected there will confirm the speed and orientation of the solar material which determine how strongly it interacts with the planet's atmosphere.
So they're trying not to alarm people, but they say anyone under 60 pounds will be incinerated.
Okay. No, don't be afraid, everyone. By the way, the coronal mass ejection usually arrives in 2 stages, a fast-moving shock front and then a slower magnetic cloud. And the second phase can heighten geomagnetic activity if its magnetic direction opposes that of Earth. So here's what could happen.
Okay.
Could disrupt high-frequency radio, GPS, and satellite systems as well. Power networks may experience fluctuations, though major outages are considered unlikely for this. But it could produce visible auroras in regions far south of the Arctic. Now, I haven't seen any projections or forecasts as to whether or not we would get to see that, which would be awesome if that is the case. But we'll have to see.
Do you, over the course of the many years where we experienced things of this nature, I remember that there have been issues with signal strength and static and things like that. I don't remember anything that was absolutely so tangible that it rendered things unusable.
Nothing major that I know of, so or at least in my experience. So Nick pulled up the forecast for the aurora. It looks like it's going to be just north of us, right, Nick?
Yeah, I had a friend who went camping in northern Minnesota a week or two ago, and she got incredible aurora borealis. And so, occasionally you're lucky enough to get it in the States.
Yeah.
The best, so I've seen the ribbon, the actual undulating ribbon, which is an amazing thing. If we could get that, that'd be pretty cool. So
I was a little bummed when we got it last year. I thought it was cool.
It was amazing.
But the purple sky was incredible, I thought.
I wanted it to be green, though. I didn't.
I saw the green. Yeah. Dear God, could you fix that? And let's see what we can do about Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, anytime I've ever seen pictures or videos or whatever, it was always that green ribbon. And that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I also thought it was wild that it showed up better in pictures than it did in real life.
It's true, at least for those.
That was really interesting. So, well, anyhow, everybody, pray for green.
All right.
Yes.
For Casey. All right. Okay.
You know you wanted the green one.
You wanted it.
I thought purple was a bonus, actually. Japanese researchers have completed the first human clinical trial testing whether delivering oxygen through the rectum could help people with lung problems.
But that could nearly kill them.
This is actually the second story I've read about breathing through your butthole. The concept called enteral ventilation won the 2024 Ig Nobel Prize for humorous scientific achievements, but has evolved into serious research.
And the winner is breathing through your butthole.
The trial tested safety and tolerability by having participants hold a special oxygen-carrying perfluorocarbon liquid inside their rectum for up to 60 minutes. And it's interesting when this story came up because I just finished a book from Dan Brown. It was the book that came right after the Da Vinci Code, which was not Lost Symbol. That's what I'm reading. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It was Lost Symbol. And in the book, there's a sequence that talks about the liquid that you can breathe. And I'm not going to give away the scenario that happens because you think somebody dies, but they're actually breathing breathable liquid, and it is real. I had thought with the movie The Abyss that was just science fiction.
No.
But it is legit. There is this, it's called perfluorocarbon liquid that you as a human being can actually get oxygen in your system through your lungs from.
So when we talked about this on the air initially, and I brought this up and you were surprised to learn this, the only reason I knew that is I remember them demonstrating it on a talk show, a la The Abyss, with a mouse that was able to breathe. And the thing that is the difficult part, as is depicted in the movie The Abyss, the shock of drawing liquid into your lungs.
Painful.
Right.
Very painful.
It's a much more arduous process, but once you get it going, you can survive that way.
And that scene in The Abyss with the rat is legit.
It's legit.
It's real. They used a real rat, and a lot of times that's edited out of movies on TV.
That rat was real?
Yeah. But I mean, it breathing the liquid.
Wow, okay.
The actual breathable liquid is a real scene. It is not one that they made up. They actually did that. No serious side effects were reported from, essentially this enema with this stuff. Though some participants experienced bloating and discomfort with higher volumes, only 7 participants couldn't make it the full hour. Vital signs remained stable, and no one suffered long-lasting issues. The researchers were motivated partly by the severe ventilator shortage during COVID. The next step is testing how well oxygen actually transfers from the intestines to the bloodstream.
That'd be my question. How effective of a delivery system is it going into the back door, so to speak?
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
but if it's an option, if you can't breathe through your lungs, if they can figure out a way to do that for saving people's lives in the short term, that could be a game changer.
As you're breathing that way, are there any olfactory attributes? Like, anybody fart? Did somebody just... I would assume not, but
maybe.
Who knows?
But you would suffocate after that if you farted, so I don't know.
Right. But I mean, listen, there's it's amazing. We tend to dismiss it, obviously, for the comical aspects, but it's another protocol.
All right, can I Casey-fy this story real quick?
Does it involve tacos?
It does not involve tacos, but it does involve liquid, and this has nothing to do with what you're talking about. But
that'd be about right.
This was the coolest thing I saw on the internet last week. But this, I believe it was a Navy SEAL. He goes underwater, no goggles or anything like that. And so he's got to pick up something off the bottom of this pool. Let's say it's like quarters or something like that. And so he can't see them. So what he ends up doing is he takes his 2 hands and puts them over his eyes like a visor, right? Yeah. And then he breathes the liquid out and then creates an air goggle.
Yes.
And he's able to see underwater clearly.
Well, to some extent, because I've played around in my pool and done something similar without blowing the bubbles up there. I've just gone down below the surface of the water with this cup so it can save,
like an air pocket.
Yeah, can make a little air pocket, and that's what happens. But here's the thing is that bubble moves around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you can see, but you can't see like you would with goggles or a mask on.
Okay.
But you can see more clearly, yes, or at least that's in my experience playing around with it. If you're a Navy SEAL and they have specific training methods for doing that, maybe there's a better way of doing it, but I could see how that's totally viable.
Pretty cool.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry to do that.
No,
thank you for allowing me that time.
This is an institute of learning.
All right, and we will move on to our next learning tidbit here at the Just Saying Institute. So if you let out a big sigh, it turns out that's not you just being dramatic. Your body was doing something useful. A new study published in Science Advances suggests that sighing has real physical benefits for both your stress levels and your lungs. So sighing helps expand and reset the tiny air sacs in your lungs, which are called alveoli. And this keeps lung tissue elastic and prevents breathing from becoming harder over time, which can happen if you mostly breathe in short, shallow bursts.
So is the body in an involuntary way helping to reduce the stress level?
I think so.
Yeah.
So a breathing method called cyclic sighing, which is slow, deep breaths with long exhales done for just 5 minutes a day, is shown to improve mood and lower your breathing rate.
I employ them regularly.
Yeah.
A deep breath just to sort of mitigate something that might be stressful.
Oh yeah,
and it does work.
Does it have anything about Sai and Along Kong Kong?
No.
Okay.
That you have to do.
No.
Yeah, see, but she's getting pissed off at the end. It's not working.
Listen, on a serious note, since the news of Pierre dying, I have to take big, deep breaths and sigh from time to time.
Right.
The moment I start, because like we've said, the grief comes in waves.
It does.
And we'll be going about our business, and then all of a sudden it will hit me. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to stop for a second, and I have to take a long, deep breath and like literally blowing out like that. And it does help me feel better.
It does.
I think there's something both mentally and physically behind it. I think that physically I don't want to say it produces endorphins or something like that, but it does something to correct whatever stress level, whatever your chemical makeup is causing you to start to feel stress. Or maybe I'm accidentally holding my breath when I start to think about that.
Well, it's conceivable that both of them are true. I also think mentally, if you're talking about what it's a reset. It feels like a reset. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's try this again.
Even though we usually associate sighing with being annoyed, overwhelmed, or sad, it actually acts as a quick pressure release valve for your body.
It gently massages the con nerve.
It does, and it can offer an immediate sense of relief and give your system a moment to reset.
Yeah, there you go.
That said, if you notice yourself sighing constantly, it could be a sign of ongoing stress or anxiety.
When you sigh, do you ever experience a rectal sigh?
No.
Which we might call a fart.
No. But you can swallow air, and that eventually makes its way through your system and,
it does.
And comes out as
the miracle of the human body.
As a fart, yes. But in general, taking a slow, deep breath and letting it out with a sigh is a simple, healthy way to help your body and your mind relax.
That's one thing I've never, and we've always talked about, the actual mechanics of a proper breath. And I'm sure when I try to do the way they say it is clinically the best way to breathe, it just seems unnatural.
Have you tried taking a breath?
A breath,
Yes.
yeah. Maybe a breath would work better.
A breath instead of a breath.
So my cousin, who I cycle with quite often, and he's pretty physically fit. He is a big proponent for breathing out as much as you can. He's like, the deeper breath you can get out, the deeper breath you can get in.
Do you remember that woman who's...
Oh, my God.
That was her whole thing about this explosive exhale.
Yeah.
And she'd make this face.
Well, and in the inhale, too, she'd be like...
yeah.
Like she's doing a haka.
It was an old video from probably the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
It was crazy. All right, hang on. We have a respiratory therapist.
There we go.
Who's joining us. And it's Casey that we have on. Casey, good morning,
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Awesome, bud. All right, so what do you want to share with us about breathing?
Well, as far as taking a deep breath, a sigh. So one of the things that keeps your lungs from quote unquote collapsing is a substance called surfactant that lines your alveoli and reduces surface tension to keep them open. And that's produced by what are called type 2 cells in your lungs. And taking a big deep breath stimulates the type 2 cells to produce surfactant. So every now and then you just got to take that big deep breath.
Okay.
So in this process, does it produce something like endorphins or something that is calming to the system?
No, it's just it's like how you can't make bubbles with water, but you can with soap. It's just a chemical that does that, so it helps to keep your alveoli open.
Casey, do you, as this is your business, do you try to do it? Are you conscious of doing that every day to keep your lungs healthy?
No, it actually happens. Your body will just tell you to do it when it feels that you need it. When we have people on breathing machines, on mechanical ventilators, we will sometimes set a sigh breath. So every so often it will give a larger volume than the patients normally get.
So you'll manually put in a sigh because that's part of the general process of maintaining the lungs.
Correct.
Interesting.
They set that on Sayin. Hit that.
Nell always practice mindful breathing.
Casey, I have a question. So breathing is regularly, this automatic, involuntary process. You don't pay attention to it at all. And when you do mindful breathing, it's conscious, it's voluntary. Is there a connection between you paying attention to it and the mindfulness of it and any of the benefits?
There's some biofeedback research that's done on that. You can calm yourself down, lower your heart rate. It's not really related so much to the breathing as it is to the concentration, but it's giving you something to concentrate on that is rhythmic. It's a good point. Breathing is one of those things in your body, like blinking your eyes, that can either be an automatic, response, or you can control it yourself.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Case. Thanks for listening, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Take
to
it
you.
easy, guys.
It always amazes me when someone of any higher learning listens to the show.
Yeah, somebody of intelligence level?
A proper intelligence level.
Yeah.
Are you of intelligence level? Why not? All right. Let's see. All right, this is a mystery solved. I thought this was kind of interesting. Scientists, for centuries, they've been puzzled by this mysterious phenomenon known as Seneca's gun.
Seneca's gun.
It is a loud boom emanating from New York's Seneca Lake. Records of loud explosions heard on Seneca Lake date back to the 17th century. But they had become the subject of myth and folklore long before that. And the Seneca people, a Native American tribe that lived around that lake, believed that the booms were the voice of a god angry at the warriors who had defiled their sacred hunting grounds, while early pioneers believed them to be drums being played by the spirits of soldiers who lost their lives in the war for independence. And it wasn't until the 20th century that scientific hypotheses started emerging, but none of them were confirmed until this year, when a team of researchers used advanced equipment mapping the bottom of Seneca Lake. In 1934, German geologist Hermann Fairchild proposed the subterranean gas eruption hypothesis, which suggested that methane gas trapped underground erupted through the lake bed, producing an explosive sound when it broke through the water surface. And it turned out to be a very accurate explanation, but one that could not be proven at that time.
So this is interesting. This coincides with another story. And you've heard the story about this lake, Preston, that produces methane on a staggering level. And it was, for years, it was sort of mitigated by the environment around it. But there was one particular confluence of events where the methane did not dissipate, and it killed all the people who were in villages around the lake. Do you remember this story?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yeah, and it's one of the great quote-unquote mysteries.
Do you remember what era
I
this
don't
was?
know.
But earlier in U.S. history?
I don't even believe it's in the United States. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one of those things. So if this, because methane obviously in large, it could kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Or detonate.
Takes up the space of oxygen.
Yeah,
You can't breathe oxygen. Well, attempts to find the cause of the loud booms continued throughout the 20th century, with some researchers using sonar measurements of the lake and others relying on gas detection equipment. But the phenomenon was so random and sudden that no one was able to provide full explanation. And did you hear it?
Did you hear that?
I heard that, guys.
That changed with a field survey operation that was carried out on Seneca Lake between 2018 and 2024.
Yeah, how's that lake fart progress thing? What's going on? You're the folks from the Institute that's studying the lake farts.
They all laughed.
Yeah. But, the guy's getting data that'll help save their lives.
So the original purpose of the survey expedition was to document in high resolution the wrecks of the 19th century steamships and other ships that lay on the floor of Seneca Lake. But with the help of advanced equipment, they also discovered, and this is what led them to the hypothesis, over 140 pockmarks on the lake bed. The diameter of these huge depressions ranged from several tens to several hundred meters.
Are we talking craters?
Yeah. So scientists suspected that the unusual topography on the lake bed was connected to the Seneca guns phenomenon, but confirmation came earlier this year. A joint team of scientists collected water and sediment samples from multiple locations on the lake bottom to analyze them for the presence of geological gases such as methane. After analyzing the data, they finally confirmed the subsurface gas eruption theory proposed by Fairchild in 1934. And apparently, gas builds up pressure underground over a long period of time, and when it reaches a limit, it breaks through the bottom of the lake and is released all at once. When the giant bubbles rise to the surface and burst, they create a shock wave that produces a low rumbling sound similar to a cannon shot.
I want to thank everyone for gathering today. We're going to reveal our information regarding our findings about the lake farts. Come on.
So that's apparently what it is. And I went on YouTube and found some videos, and there are recordings of it, and it sounds like a cannon, like echoing through the area.
Think about throughout the years, going back to when you were talking about, that'd be a very frightening thing.
Yeah.
So, Steve, that lake that you were referring to, it wasn't methane, it was carbon dioxide. And
was it?
Yeah, it was a lake in Cameroon. It's called Lake Nyos. And this thing that happened in 1986, it was a sudden outgassing of CO2 and basically made the lake explode. And there were hundreds of thousands of water that were thrust out of the lake. It killed nearly 2,000 people. Wow. Rural villagers were all suffocated and drowned. Lots of livestock died. But basically, this explosion of CO2 happened beneath the lake, forced all the water out of the lake, and flooded the areas around it.
So that is a similar similar, but there was one actually where the lake gas, Nick, quietly seeped up a similar thing. I don't know if you can find it, and if I'm misremembering it, then I'm sorry.
You're probably right.
But it was just sort of, they made the point that it was sort of a stealthy killer that just wiped out, not that there was an actual detonation. And to me, it seemed like a terrifying thing.
Okay.
All right, here's another story that I want to pass along. The Just Sayin Institute.
I got you, man. Sorry, I'm trying to find out where our guest is.
Okay.
My bad.
So, and we do this in honor of Pierre. About half of Americans are expected to experience cognitive decline after the age of 55, and cases of dementia in the U.S. are predicted to double by 2060. Lifestyle choices like being active, drinking less alcohol, and addressing hearing loss can actually help reduce your risk of experiencing. But new research finds a surprising activity can also help. It turns out that listening to music can lower your chance of developing dementia.
I believe this because when you see people who respond to see people with Alzheimer's or dementia, memories can be triggered by music.
Yeah.
You know?
So the study published this month in the International Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry looks at nearly 11,000 people over the age of 70, and they find that those who have always listened to music have a 39% lower risk of dementia than those who sometimes rarely or never listened to music.
They say the most effective music is from Josh Groban.
Is it really? That's.
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
It's so good. Researchers also found that music fans have a 17% lower chance of cognitive decline, like memory, reasoning, and problem solving, and higher scores in recalling everyday events. But listening to music isn't the only way to protect brain health later in life. Playing a musical instrument helps too, as those who regularly played had a 35% drop in dementia risk.
So, okay, you as a drummer, that's something good. Now, do you actually have to know how to play, or can you pretend?
I think pretending would be just as good too, right? Don't you?
Then I'm going to buy that harp today.
Doing both listening to music and playing an instrument has the biggest impact. It's linked to a 33% decrease in risk of dementia and 22% lower chance of cognitive impairment.
The healing impact that music therapists and people who employ music for all sorts of advantages when you're treating people with issues. It's I believe this 100%. Boy, that Just Sayin Institute is smart.
I'd like to do a little more research on music therapy. I've only heard of it, and I don't really know like how they employ that, how they put that to use, what works for certain conditions, and are there formats of music that are better for certain issues, or is it just what the person likes? If it's just listening to music you like. That's kind of interesting.
I think if you were talking about memory issues, listening to We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh, my God. That's a history lesson, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a lot of lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been everywhere.
Yeah. For, geography.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now you say that, I'm like, what have I learned through music?
What are other teaching songs?
I mean, you obviously have your Schoolhouse Rocks and stuff like that. I almost disqualify that.
Hit records.
Yeah.
And yet there are questions that remain in perpetuity. Who did let the dogs out?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did they ever find out who let the dogs out?
No.
What was the line that a listener confused with JFK blown away?
A-OK.
JFK A-OK.
Yeah, JFK A-OK. Are you saying the assassination of a United States president is A-OK?
JFK not okay.
Not okay.
We may have accepted that as opposed to A-OK. That was a car. We did the carload karaoke. I forgot what we called it.
Yeah.
Car karaoke. With Casey.
It wasn't carpool karaoke.
Yeah, it was.
Was it carpool karaoke?
It was carpool karaoke.
Okay. Right.
There were names that showed up and we didn't start the fire, and I had no idea what those names were when the song hit, like Walter Winchell, and you knew the presidents or whatever.
I know Lisa Winchell.
That's good.
Walter Winchell, a journalist, right?
Sure.
I don't know,
but like Malenkov and Nasser and Prokofiev, like all the there are so many littered throughout the song that I remember having to look it up afterwards and figure out who the hell he was talking about.
Who did you say? Lisa Winchell?
Lisa Welchel.
Welchel from Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Blair.
And Collector's Corner, Preston.
Yeah. What story on our guest, Case?
They're arriving any second now. So if you have a short one, let's do that.
By the way, Walter Winchell, yes, an American journalist.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Case, go ahead. So here's a short one for you from the Just Saying Institute. Researchers at Ohio State University have figured out how to use mushrooms as computer memory. They grew
You just got to jam them through the USB port.
They grew shiitake and button mushrooms, dried them out for several days, attached electrodes to them, and then sprayed them with a little water to make them conduct electricity again. And the mushroom samples were then tested with different electrical signals to see if they could work like memristors, MEMRISTORS.
Nestle's makes the very best.
Shut up. Memristors, I guess, which are special computer parts that remember electrical signals even when the power is turned off.
So is this on the way to making organic computers? Yeah.
At 1 volt, the mushrooms worked best and were even programmed to act like a computer RAM, reaching speeds of almost 6,000 cycles per second with a 90% accuracy.
So I've replaced my phone with a cantaloupe.
Yeah.
The scientists say that mushroom-based computer parts have several benefits over regular electronics. They're better for the environment. They don't need rare earth materials.
True.
Are easier to grow than other biological materials. Use less power, way less, and shiitake mushrooms can even handle radiation, apparently.
Wow. How do they taste on a hamburger?
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are organic computers, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're still pretty amazing. Speed and memory retained. We're kind of a marvel.
Big time.
Yeah. So suck it. Suck it, mushrooms.
Suck it, shrooms. All right, we're done. We're done.
We're ending on suck it shrooms?
We're ending on suck it shrooms for the first time ever.
That is our finding in this particular research.
Yeah. And no offense to the mushroom capital of the world,
Kennett Square.
Kennett Square. Thank you very much. I couldn't think of it. All right, we're closing up campus because we do have a guest along the way, but thank you for stopping by here today. We do appreciate you being here. We're going to come back in a moment, and Dan Trachtenberg is going to be here to talk about Predator, Badlands, and more. Very excited for that conversation, so stay put. We'll be back in just a moment. Plastic grapes and pretending to eat them as well. Could have choked on one. How about a set of very outdated encyclopedias?
Yes.
Oh my God, we had the encyclopedias.
Yeah, we did too. and I would go through them and find in the anatomy ones, they would have those the clear pages that you could fold like the muscle groups on top of the internal organs, on top of the
acetate,
bones.
yeah,
the acetate. That's it.
So my mother got us the full Funkin' Wagnall encyclopedia set through the supermarket that you'd go to. So you'd go and purchase, and they'd bring out a new letter every week. It was the worst. You'd lose letters. It was the most incomplete encyclopedia set ever.
Also, this says her old telephone list finder sitting next to the phone. And Steve,
I remember those.
What did they call those? Was it like a filofax or?
The filofax is a similar. Yeah, in fact, that might be the name, Preston. But you'd have these little. Yes, that's.
I have a picture of it right here. Yeah, it was.
You'd move an arrow down.
It was flat, and you would move this arrow down to the letter you want. And you'd hit the button, and it would pop open.
Yeah.
Right to that part of where the phone numbers were kept.
Yeah.
And I used to play with that thing all the time.
I loved it. Yeah.
Just because it would spring open. Let's see here. And the last thing it says, the tin of Royal Dansk Danish butter cookies that never had cookies in it. It was filled with other stuff.
Yeah, several people were texting in that the sewing supplies ended up in those.
Sewing.
And that's what this photo is.
There
like
we go.
all the threads and needles and all
By
that
the way,
stuff.
I love those Royal Dansk
They are good
butter
cookies.
Too.
They're so
butter
damn
cookies.
good.
Yes.
They're really good.
Wait,
Do they
were
still
they-
exist?
Yeah, they do.
We
Yeah,
should probably get some.
they're excellent.
Were they all the same flavor?
No.
They were different flavors,
Yes.
right? Now that I'm looking at them.
I think they were all butter cookies, different shapes. Some of them had sugar on them. Some of them didn't.
Some had chocolate swirled into them. Yes.
Some of them had like little fruit inserts and things like that.
But they were all super healthy.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one: a cozy Afghan blanket.
Oh yeah.
That smelled just like her house. Yeah, and actually both of my grandmothers were quilters. So there were quilts all over the place as well. So yeah, these are it's interesting, and I'm wondering what it's like now if kids in our era, in this era, even need to root around through stuff and find things
This
to
is
play
my
with.
grandmother's zip drive.
Yeah, exactly, because you've got plenty of options of things to either watch or play with, handheld devices that you just give the kid the phone and they can play, with apps and phones like that. I wonder if they still go through drawers and go through closets and find things to entertain themselves with.
They can find grandma's naked pictures online now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They're there.
Just go to Pornhub.
PrestonandSteve.com.
Digital is forever. Yeah.
Grandma's on OnlyFans.
There was one time at Keenan's.
Yeah. Philly's hottest, one or the other, some or the other.
Why
All
did
right.
your hair never growing right, Grandma?
All right. Well, thank you for your calls. We do appreciate it. Speaking of Keenan's, it's back on, folks. We made the announcement last week. Scott came by, Scott Keenan, to reveal the information. So the date is Friday, May 27th. We will be broadcasting live at Keenan's, North Wildwood. It is sponsored by Coors Light. It's our official opening of the Jersey Shore. It's Eggs with Peg. We'll have contests. We'll have stuff to give away. Essentially, we're just going to have a damn good time early in the morning, and we'll get the summer started off right. And by the way, if you are interested, we have what's called the Countdown to Keenan's. And it's your chance to win cut the line passes, a VIP table with a bucket of Coors Light, and a case of Coors Light as well.
Excellent.
After that. And all you have to do is go online. You go to the Keenan's event page, WMMR.com, upload a photo of one of your favorite moments from one of our previous Keenan's events, if you've been before, and you hanging out with your friends, whatever it may be. And all photo entries will be displayed in the gallery on the page, and we'll pick a winner on May 20th. And we'll also have a chance, if you haven't been and you haven't taken pictures, been there, we'll have a chance to win starting this week. And each Friday we will give one of those VIP passes away. And get
There's some great photos on here already. This is cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one, Steve, you just mentioned getting a head shave. There's a contest we did called Rock, Paper, Clippers. And then, people just putting up group shots and stuff. It's neat.
Let's see if we shave some heads again this year. I don't know. We'll talk about that. All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in just a moment. Don't forget, we have in about an hour from now, Concert Cash, your chance to win. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR. WMMR proudly presents Kathy's Cuts, benefiting Wigs for Kids.
And you can walk on my team. You can participate and be a part of this if you donate and sign up for Team Preston WMMR. You get a team T-shirt. We will actually get to walk on Lincoln Financial Field. If you've always wanted to be down there on the field.
Pretty cool.
Chance to do that. Swoop will be there, Eagles cheerleaders, and not to brag or anything, but I'm this year's media honored hero.
Yay!
So I'm getting an award. So thank you, everyone. Please quiet down. No, if and you can hear my call late in the night, whatever it is, I can't make that noise again. And that's me. So anyhow, it's coming up on the 12th of June, and it's for Crohn's and Colitis Foundation research, education, and patient support services for those suffering from inflammatory bowel diseases, which are insanely painful, gang. So if you could help out, that would be great. And sign up for the team. And just go to WMMR.com and click on events, and you will find the info there, and would love to have you on the team.
Preston, I got a text yesterday from Giovanna Pisano. Giovanna won our Isolation Idol contest. Remember that from 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic? Her band, Dinah, is going to be playing at your event. So she's and she saw the information on the website, and she's like, oh my God, I get to see Preston. She was on our show via Zoom, but
never got to meet
us. So Giovanna and her band are going to be there at that event on June 12th, which
By
is
the
really
way,
cool.
They always have several bands in different parts of the concourse
Playing
as you're walking along, and there's usually, like superheroes and things. It's really cool.
But it's cool. So you've had to do it in a more mitigated way over the past couple of years, and this is sort of a return to what everyone loved about the event.
All these upcoming events are finally going to be what they once were, which is great. So participate
am them.
if you can. We am them. All right, I got this email. It was a little while back, but better late than never. I thought this was an interesting question to pose to people. So I got this email from Brian, who lives in, is it Lewis, Delaware? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Lewis, Delaware, L-A-W-E-S, Lewis, Delaware. He said, hey, he said, I had an idea that I thought might be interesting. Recently, I learned that my in-laws have a garbage disposal, and they refuse to use it because they don't want to break it. They keep a trash bag in the sink for food scraps instead of allowing them to go into the garbage disposal.
So they have a device that they never use for fear of breaking it.
Yes. And he said, this is pure insanity to me. And it got me to thinking, if there are other things of convenience that some people refuse to use for fear of breaking them. So, and he also said, he said, additionally, it's become clear to me that people love to do greetings when they go live on the air. I thought maybe a segment maybe called the Salutation Station would be cool and it would allow people to get in and get their greeting fix. Now, we'll worry about that another time. But anyhow, that's an interesting question. So you have this device that is made specifically for this one thing to do, yet you don't want to use it because you might break it. But what's the point of having it if you're not going to use it?
I know this phenomenon exists with a lot of people. I'm a gadget guy, so I will use it. I immediately adopt something and I'll use whenever I get it. But I am aware of people who will buy things and never use them.
I do it all the time.
Oh, are you guilty of this? Yeah.
The time.
By the way, if you are in this situation, call us. I want to hear it. 215-263-WMMR. All right, what is it?
So it's not that I won't use things. It's that I use them
sparingly.
Yes, when absolutely necessary.
Like super sparingly.
Yes.
Will you actually do extra work even though you have something that could get something? Okay.
So Casey and I we usually walk into work together, and he noticed it, I guess, a couple of times, and then finally said something to me. So this is just one example. Here at the station, when you walk into the building, there's the door that you can hit for, it's like a handicap, and it'll for somebody walking through, and it'll open the door for them.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's the only door you can get in the morning when we scan our key card because the doors are locked.
It's the only one that unlocks.
That unlocks, right? Once we get into the vestibule, all of the doors are open. There's several
there's
doors.
6 doors you can go through. Yeah.
I won't go through the other handicap door. I won't open that handicap door because it's automatic.
It's
and
the door
I'm
straight
using,
through. Yeah.
So I'm using that door opener. It doesn't need to be. So I'll just go over to the one that I pull with my own hand and open.
Because you're afraid if you open it too often, it's eventually going to cause this to malfunction.
Correct.
Okay.
I do it with my garage door opener at home.
You don't use your automatic garage door
So I will
opener?
go out my front door if more often than not, because if I use the garage door opener so much, eventually it's going to break, right, guys?
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, wait, hold on. I had to have it replaced because it did break after 13 years.
So
13 years.
It's going to happen anyway.
13.
Yeah.
13 years.
Yeah.
I got 13 years out of it, but maybe did I get 13 years out of it because I used the front door?
Is this why you were asking about a garage door?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the garbage disposal, though, that I will use. Like, I'm not worried about that one.
Okay.
I know. So my on my wife's side of the family, one of the people, one of the not in-laws, forget who it is. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you classify this person, but dishwasher doesn't use it. Dishwasher sitting right there in the kitchen does not use it
because of fear of it breaking.
That, a perception of overuse of water,
Okay.
A perception of other things, and fear of breaking. All of that sort of. No, I don't want to screw with that.
I had a friend who I worked with, dishwasher, but for a different reason, not for fear of breaking. She would not use a dishwasher because she hated unloading the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
So therefore would hand wash everything, which you still have to put all that stuff away when you're done hand washing it. But there was something about putting it in, running it, and then opening it up and taking it back out that she did not want to.
She didn't like picking up the work on the other side.
Right.
So in other words, when you're washing it right then and there, you're putting it away. So it seems like it's all in one.
Yeah, like smaller amounts.
Right. Yeah. But it's the same
Still
thing.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
In the almost 20 years that I've been a dishwasher owner, I don't think I've actually turned a dishwasher on maybe more than 5 or 6 times.
Oh my God. I'll run it like twice a day.
It's
without
weird.
even dishes in it.
It's weird though, because I just don't feel like the dishwasher gets the dishes clean enough. And it doesn't, and I think it's just because the way my kids load it, it just gets overloaded, or they won't rinse things out. They'll like listen, the commercials lie. You can't put a full-on spaghetti dinner into the dishwasher, and the dishwasher's going to clean it up. It just doesn't work that way. So, as far as I'm concerned, the dishwashers, I can do a better job and in less time.
So here's the deal. If you're basically halfway there, cleaning off the dishes,
may as well go ahead and finish it.
Just finish it.
Yeah.
Right?
By the way, here's a text that says, my friend's mom got a brand new $10,000 lawnmower.
No.
What? It better be a riding lawnmower.
I'll buy it from you.
For Christmas, and refuses to use it Uses the old one still because the new one looks too pretty and doesn't want to mess it up.
Listen, I get that.
I'll
man.
do that. I'll use the older item until okay, so here's one, a hair dryer, right? I bought a new hair dryer and they're fairly expensive, but I still have I still have a little bit of use out of my old hair dryer. So I'm trying to get until that completely dies, and then I'll start with the
Get
new
rid
one.
of it.
Yeah. But I understand that reasoning, because when you see a nice brand new work truck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From guys that actually use it. It's not like a glamour truck like some of these guys.
This is my glamour truck.
Well,
yeah, I know
listen,
what you're saying, yeah.
you have these trucks that just look nice and they never put anything in the bed or whatever. But then you have these other guys that actually, really work for a living and they put everything.
It's so funny. It's because I have at home case, I have this Amazon. It's a collection of tools and everything's in this place and it's all very clean. And all the contractors that I know, all their equipment is all effed up and banged up because they're using it.
Well, yeah, my friend Bill, he just got this beautiful brand new truck. He showed it to me last year. He's like, "Oh, look at this." You open the door, the little the stool comes out. Little things you step on.
Step stool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, this is gorgeous." But how long until it's just all dented and scratched?
Yeah. Here's a text says, my father refused to use the AC in the car when I was a kid, and still to this day, because he doesn't want to fix it if something goes wrong with it, no matter how hot and humid it is outside. But But you're not using it. It may as well not work now if you're never going.
I'm at work. Stop calling me.
Sorry to bother you, Joanna. What's up?
So my mother, they've been going on 15 years maybe, refuses to use our fireplace in the house. Refuses.
Is it a gas-operated fireplace?
It is not. It's regular, but she's afraid that it's not going to work. That
It's not
somehow,
going to.
even
Fireworks.
though they've had it cleaned, they've had it cleaned when they bought the house. They've had it cleaned since. There's nothing wrong. It's a regular fireplace. Refuses. She's afraid that a catastrophe is going to
Thank you very much, Marissa. Our next guest is in the studio, sitting right next to us, and he's had his hands in some of our absolute favorite stuff over the years. So this is going to be a real geek-out interview.
It is. We announce it at the front. So.
Everything from 10 Cloverfield Lane to Black Mirror, and, of course, to the Predator series of films. And in fact, the latest is called Predator Badlands, and it'll be in theaters tomorrow. So don't forget about that. We would like to welcome director Dan Trachtenberg to our studio.
So stoked to be here, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. And for those who may not know, born and bred, local, right here. And you grew up where?
I grew up, I worked at the Willow Grove Mall, the Suncoast Video Store in the Willow Grove Mall.
Dude,
wow.
That's perfect.
All right. Is that where, so you have this library of movies at your fingertips. Is that where you really went deep?
I was actually too young to be allowed to work there, but I would frequent it a lot and recommend rare, obscure movies to...
Because you would have been East Coast Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't compare myself to him, but thank you. But yeah.
So were you the type? So when I'm a drummer, and I would just go to the drum shop that I would go to, and I would just go just to be around the equipment and other drummers. And sometimes if you hang around long enough, you get a job or something like that.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
And then I progressed. I was just telling some folks that I used to take the train down to Market Street and go to Chinatown. And there was an adult video store that would sell bootleg Hong Kong action movies.
Oh, dude.
That were dubs of dubs of dubs, where the subtitles were cut off. You'd have to see the tips of letters to kind of read it.
I'm right there. Yeah, John Woo stuff in Hong Kong.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's the stuff that I was just weaned on. Love the hell out of it.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, but I did it. My West Coast Video is where I hung out all the time.
Yeah.
I had actually applied at Suncoast Video. They made you take a test. There, at least the one at the Springfield Mall.
Oh my gosh!
They had you had to basically take a movie knowledge test in order to get a job there.
Awesome. I don't even remember, but that sounds right. Yeah.
I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to share with you at the top here, Dan. Was it the Predator franchise? I kind of fell out of. I loved the first film and kind of dabbled here and there afterwards. And for some reason, for whatever reason, me personally, I didn't get drawn back into it until just recently. My son, my 25-year-old son, is like, Dad, I got this thing I think I want you to see. Now, he's into anime and all kinds of stuff that I am not into. It just doesn't speak to me. So he's like, it's called Killer of Killers. It's a Predator story. And I'm like, I just want to spend time with my son. So I sat down to watch it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It has brought me back all the way into this. You directed that. What made you decide to go that animation route to start with? For my question to
well, I had just done Prey, which was a Predator movie set in the 1700s with a Comanche warrior and trying to prove herself, and I really love the idea of doing more time periods, but I also was quite smitten on making a movie like what Badlands is, and so we decided, we've never seen the kind of violence that you expect in the Predator franchise to be unleashed in animation, where you can be so much more expressive. And the idea of making an anthology movie that you think is just an anthology movie, but is actually one story being told in a very interesting way was very exciting, and just always trying to think of what's a movie that doesn't exist yet.
So I'd say the way that, James Cameron took Aliens and put a different spin on Ridley Scott's Alien. You have revitalized the Predator series. Prey was a revelation, and a Killer of Killers. The thing that always fascinated me right from the get-go, from the John McTiernan, the original, was, there is this code of ethics. There is this Bushido with this species where you have to have a weapon. They won't, if you're passive, they will seemingly pass over you. It was reinforced in the second one, which I think is pretty good as well, when Maria Conchita Alonso she's pregnant, and the Predator doesn't kill her then. So I'm like, we're learning about this. And then the end sequence, I want to learn more about this. I don't need the original to be remade over and over again, which is what the franchise fell into. And that's what excited you as well, right?
Absolutely. And I think people often forget, and I'm so glad that you're calling it out, is that we were seeing a lot of slasher movies with a Freddy or a Jason or a Michael Myers.
Right.
And the Predator fell into that category by genre, although the movie starts very differently.
Right.
But the creature, when you saw it decloak, had a culture and it fought with a code. You would never expect a Jason or Michael Myers to take the mask off and decide to fight its foe, 1-to-1, mano-a-mano. So it really allowed us to embrace some very distinct cultural iconography and also embrace the whole genre mashup thing and go to crazy uncharted territory.
It did it as well when that film came out. There was also a glut of Vietnam War films that had been through that, and this started off, you're thinking, kind of in that direction, and it took another turn. So it did two different things.
That's right.
In changing genres on us, which was why it was so like, have you seen this movie yet?
Yeah.
So Badlands,
groundbreaking.
yes, absolutely. So Badlands is now the extension of it. My neighbor and I have not stopped talking about it since the first trailer came out. He's a massive fan as well. Loved what you did with the first two. Explain where we find the species and where we are in time.
Yeah, so we are actually the furthest into the future that either Predator or Alien franchise has ever been. And instead of the movie being about a human who mixes it up with an alien, either being chased by them or finding them as their sidekick, this is a movie where you are with the alien species, the Yautja, the Predator. He is your protagonist, this guy Deck, who's the runt of the litter. He comes from a clan that thinks one weak link breaks the chain, and they mean to exile him, and he finds himself in the most deadly planet in the galaxy where everything is trying to kill him, trying to take down.
It's a test. It's his rite of passage. Basically,
Exactly.
in Spartan fashion, he's being put to the test. Can he establish his bona fides, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I love this concept, and that he's the run. At one time, had you read this, don't know if this is true, you had flirted with the notion of making him blind, a la Daredevil or Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer in Blind Fury or Book of Eli, not to spoil that, but wonderful depiction of it. Yeah, we were trying to think of how to make him feel like he's got something to overcome. And I love the idea of the blind swordsman. But he's going to this crazy planet, and I really love linking the audience to the protagonist and going on the ride with them, and felt like if he was blind, I'm going to do certain filmmaking techniques to make you not see things, and that would really go against the experiential nature of what I wanted the movie to be.
So so we're friends with Zack Snyder and filmmakers who are fans of film.
Yes.
And you are clearly that.
Yeah.
And I love the addition of Elle Fanning, who plays two characters. But she is basically, and you likened her to the, not to diminish her this way, but Mad Max had his dog with him. You know, the sidekick that may not be, you know, the same species or whatever. And so explain where she falls in this.
Yeah, I knew if we put a human in the movie, that suddenly we become more captivated with that.
Right.
And really thought then maybe it's a story about a monster and a robot. And maybe we can make something that's really awesome and kick butt, but also has some heart to it. So the idea of him strapping a robot to his back like Chewbacca has C-3PO.
I love it. Yeah.
But she's not the nervous Nelly that C-3PO is. She's like endlessly optimistic, no challenge will get in her way, and she's tethered to the back of this monster.
The complete antithesis.
That's totally ferocious, and like Conan felt like an Elle Fanning strapped to the Predator felt like the craziest, coolest movie.
And she's perfect casting because she's been this very buoyant sort of person in other movies, and to have her as the contrast is very cool. And I also saw something else which I love, and you connected to this. Part of the thrill of the Predator is the weaponry, the what, and even in Prey they had, you know, there were different things, different weapons of different times, and that to me feels very well, it's like James Bond in you know what is he going to have this time, and you introduce a whole arsenal of stuff with this. Is that had to be fun?
So fun.
Yeah. So what is your favorite of the lot, without giving too much away?
James Bond or Batman. He has a really cool bow, but really his sword is particularly awesome. He's able to use it like a noble knight or samurai would, but it also switches mode and goes into Tonfa mode, which is allows him to combat things in a way that we don't typically see on screen.
The language now, there's a language and there's a lot more. This is what I love. I love world building. I love when you know, and this to me as a moviegoer is what you go for.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we being treated to here? How did that language get devised?
We hired someone who does that.
Actually creates the language. First time, or had they worked on anything else?
He did. He worked under this guy, Paul Frommer, who did the Na'vi for Avatar. Our guy's name's Britton Watkins, and he did some Klingon for previous Star Trek movies. But this one was really developed whole cloth. The runes from the first 87 movie were just there to look cool.
Yeah.
And he really made sense of everything and developed it so it would make sense coming out of the actual physiology of that crazy predator throat and mouth. I can't utter one sonic beat of it because, you know, my mouth just won't let me. But
you don't have mandibles.
Yeah, because I don't have mandibles. Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of hiring people who do that, the creatures that he is going to have to go up against. I had read some of the inspiration came from, is it Shadow of the Colossus? Is that the name of the game?
Yeah, there's a game called Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's one of my
Beautiful.
favorite games.
It's an incredible game. Not just the creature design, but actual like stories. The spirit of some story elements came from Shadow of the Colossus, and it's really hard. I've done a couple of these sci-fi things and developing creatures. Sometimes it devolves into just what you think looks kind of cool, and we've seen so many cool-looking creatures. I want this time things to make a little bit more sense and be more narratively driven. So there's a sequence that's all set in a field of razor grass.
Yes,
and there's a beast that lies in that field, and the way we designed it was he has, like, if you think about how he would have evolved, he has an armored hide and a beak that covers his mouth that allows him to graze inside that field. And every creature in the movie was sort of thought about in that kind of way.
If you look at the parallel of our own planet and the horrendous creatures that have evolved to adapt, and then you, by extension, build on that, and your knack for doing that is amazing. I wanted to ask you, with the video game influence, with your love of video games and reading your extensive love of video games, I have to assume you're at least entertaining the notion of turning this into a video game.
It would be my dream.
Yeah.
It would be my dream. Sometimes I feel like I'm making movies just so I can end up making video games somehow. If I could convince somebody.
Yeah.
And there's certainly a function to this movie that feels a little bit like it's heavily inspired
It's
by
a Survivor game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I always often point to this. There was the Riddick series. But the Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay.
One of the greatest games of all time.
It's unbelievable. It's better than any of the movies.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Where were you? What is going on here? Where were you when I was growing up? This is amazing. If I could listen to talk radio and hear, or radio and morning radio and hear guys who know what they're talking about with video games and movies.
There we go. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
We were at Y100 while you were growing up around
Is that
here
what it
doing
is?
mornings.
I was saying WMMR was to me is synonymous with an iconic mustache. I don't know.
Yes, Tabella.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about your time at Temple and you as a student and what you were doing, to basically pave the way to where you are now?
I really tried to take advantage of Philly as much as possible. I almost went to LA a little bit sooner, and there was a producer out there who said I'd shot something in Philly, and he was like, "Man, you come out here and everything looks like LA."
Yeah.
And when this thing looks like you went to some awesome location, it gets so I really tried to take advantage of the students, also of the other people working. I didn't want to just make student things. So I hired or asked to help me out on my student projects, grips and ADs and PAs, people who worked on local productions that were coming. There was a show called Hack. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, David Morse.
David Morse.
Yeah. So a lot of crew that was working on that to help me out in my student films and
you mean a Portal student? Was that a
Portal
student
was
film?
after I moved to LA.
All right.
But no, when I was here, I made a really cheesy Karate Kid if it was on the soccer field, as if it was directed by Michael Bay, not me, called Kickin'. And we shot it in Radnor. We shot it at, what was the high school? Radnor High School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right around here.
Kickin'.
Yeah. Don't. It's nowhere to be seen, trust me.
You know, Tom Wilson, who played Biff in Back to the Future, he went to Radnor High School.
Did he really?
Yeah, you could have gotten him.
I had no idea. We were different generations, but
That's hilarious.
Wow.
I wanted to ask you about this, and it's in the news, and I was unaware of it. We were both Preston mentioned Killer of Killers, which is phenomenal. Yeah. And this post way at the end credit scene where we see Schwarzenegger, Dutch, we see Danny Glover, we see Naru from Prey, and they're all in a sort of a suspended animation state. So this is part of the world building we're talking about.
Yeah.
With this, so that is it. That is. We're taking Killer of Killers to be part of the lore that actually affects the live action movies as well. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's safe to say.
So what? I know you have a plan. I don't want to reveal everything because you got to make money. But can we anticipate the reintegration of these characters at some point?
I think everything's fair game. I think the cool thing about the end of Killer of Killers is that it some people interpret it like, oh, that stinks. They won the day. They won their movie. Then the Predators come and take them. But in the Predator culture, that's an honor.
We see it as an honor,
exactly,
because they present many, and it's throughout, and especially with Danny Glover at the end when he receives, which you brilliantly institute back into Prey, the gun.
Yes,
and so all of that is that they respect the ability to best them.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Does that, so after, Killer of Killers, does that then lead us to believe that Earth is kind of this almost game preserve of sorts, that maybe they have a tourism destination, a tourism, with the Yautja that send the, maybe
it gets a good Yelp rating.
Yeah, or something like that. But they've come back several times.
Definitely.
Okay.
But not just Earth. Other planets also.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
Are we one of the more formidable ones, or is this just part of the?
I imagine we're pussies, basically.
I mean, the funny thing is, though, that was the inspiration for Badlands, was because people always complained, why the Predator keeps getting its butt kicked? How cool is this hunter?
Right.
Just he comes to Earth and we're able to do it. And so that was the inspiration, was to say, Actually, they also do go to other planets, and maybe we do make a movie where the Predator finally does win. But I didn't want to just make a slasher movie where the bad guy wins. Instead, I thought, oh man, we should take this thing, this creature.
That's a good point.
And make him on the journey that we normally see a human go through.
Right.
Yeah.
Dan, I wanted to ask you about one of your earlier directing projects. You worked on an episode of Black Mirror, Playtest, and Wyatt Russell was the star of that. And it was written by Charlie Brooker, right?
Yeah.
And he's a creator of the show. And so that was kind of early on in your career, right?
It was right after 10 Cloverfield Lane. It barely just came out in London.
Okay.
When they asked me to direct an episode.
So did you know what you were getting into with that show? Because that was the one that was kind of like a whack-a-mole, and he's got this brain implant, Wyatt Russell does. And that show is brilliant, but also so creepy and messes with you.
Yeah, I loved there was 2 British seasons that had just come over to the States, and I devoured them. And I had spent like 3 years making Cloverfield Lane, and Charlie just sent me like a treatment. And I went to London and shot over the course of a couple months, and we made this whole entire awesome thing after spending 3 years slaving over trying to get one movie made. So yeah, it was incredible. Wyatt Russell, hilarious.
Yeah,
improvised throughout that entire thing.
We've had him in
fun.
here.
Oh, you have?
Oh, he's terrific.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a good friend.
Well, you've opened the door, and I'm going to ask about 10 Cloverfield Lane because
before you do that, real quick, just if you're checking in, director Dan Trachtenberg is joining us, and Predator: Badlands will be in theaters tomorrow.
Yes, and getting wonderful reviews, by the way. So, 10 Cloverfield Lane was the first time we talked to you, and
cool.
And it's now recycled. It's airing a lot now. It's popping up on Max or Plex or whatever the hell. But it is such a solid movie. It is such a gem. And there was the Troika films, quote unquote. There was Paradox, which was the third, which I think you correct me if I'm wrong, but the original 10 Cloverfield Lane, the Cloverfield aspect of it was added after the fact.
In title, the movie that we shot was the movie.
Right.
And it didn't have a good title.
Right.
And we were trying to think of what to call it. And suddenly JJ was like, what if we call it 10? What if we call it something Clover? What if we link this?
Right.
This could be a cousin of that first movie. And there was a scene in the movie where where her car comes bursting through and hits a mailbox.
Yes.
And we were like, what if we put the address on the thing and it's Cloverfield Lane? And so that's how it came to be.
It was cheeky, but it was fun too because if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. You're wrestling with this: is it or isn't? Has this happened? This thing is John Goodman out of his mind? Yeah, he's out of his mind, but he's also, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I have to ask you, as your first film, directing a powerhouse actor like John Goodman, who puts on, I think, an incredible performance in that. I mean, and directing an actor of that caliber. Was that a joy and simultaneously nerve-wracking?
Well put.
Yes.
Yeah. It was both those things. And because he's playing a really intimidating character.
He's terrifying.
So I certainly at times felt like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to. But also really sweet, loved joking around with the crew, and really wanted to be directed. I was very reverential and deferred a lot in the beginning, and they kept saying like, just whatever you want, just tell me what.
Oh, that's great.
Which one do you want to do? Do you want to when we were picking out wardrobe? And he was like, well, what do you think, kid? And it was really, really cool.
There's a scene that it's one of the tensest scenes where they're sitting there playing the game, and do you remember
Trivial Pursuit or something?
It's like
I know everything. I see everything.
Right. Yeah.
They're guessing they're wearing. I ripped it off from Inglourious Bastards, but they're wearing the character password essentially.
Yeah.
They're supposed to guess
with clues and
like headbands.
And they're sure that he's figured them out, but he hasn't, and it's one of the tensest scenes.
Yeah.
When you're doing that again as a young director, to nail it, can you walk away as a director? Do you ever walk away and go, slam dunk? Or are you always, I could do that better?
It's a little bit of both. There's things that you're quite proud of, and there's things where you're like, oh my gosh, please, no. Are people looking at that right now? And no one ever sees what you see in it, but yeah.
I think you'd rather have to always think your S doesn't stink than to be your own critic.
Yeah.
Within reason, will probably serve you better.
There's a great line from the original Parenthood movie where Jason Robards, I think, is talking to Steve Martin and saying, like, there's no
goal line.
Yeah.
You never cross the goal. You never spike the ball. You never do your touchdown dance.
Where were you guys?
And it's one of my favorite lines of all time.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then after that, he turns his and goes, "You worry too much."
Yes, yeah. It's great. Yeah, you're right in our wheelhouse. And I love also the way you've talked about understanding the reverential attitude towards the Predator series, that you're dipping your toe in acidic waters with the fan base, but you I think because you come from such a place of fandom yourself, do you think that's sort of Tefloned you a little bit?
A little bit, and I also think like we have so many, as you brought up in the beginning, we have so many Predator movies that are the same thing. Everyone talks about this movie as being this crazy big risk, which it is. But at the same time, to me, the riskier thing is making the same thing again.
Yes. It's an evolution.
Yeah.
The original Alien is a straight-up horror movie. Aliens is an action
That's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, you were at the screening last night. We did a brief Q&A, and during that Q&A, you talked about, you were, 6 years old or something like that when Predator came out, so you weren't allowed to see it. How old were you when you were allowed to see it?
I still don't even know if I was allowed when I saw it, but I was probably around 10 or 11.
Okay.
In fact, I just found crazy. My mom, looking through old childhood pictures last night, found a little notebook where I wrote, this is a comic character I'm creating called the Evil Predator. And then the next page was me. I drew a predator with a gauntlet. Like, it was funny that I said I created it. But yeah, and that was in 1991. So, and I was born in 81, so I was 10 years old probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was saying last night, like, this movie holds up. It was released in 1987. Does not, aside from a couple of the cheesy lines like. I time to bleed and
but
stuff
listen,
like that.
that in and of itself, that is what makes it work, because it was so, you would think, as you said, you're being led one way, and then it becomes, the parsing out of these guys in the helicopter who've been bled out, and what's going on here up in the tree. All that starts to build. So in this, though, you hit the ground running, and as you say, a lot of times, and I pointed this out, I love Tim Burton. I love the original 2 Batman movies. But I was chapping at the bit to see Batman be Batman. By the third one, the Joel Schumacher Batman Forever, you got to see a little bit more of that. So it's not the best film, but you felt that way, as you said about Predator. Let's see what makes them the most, formidable in this realm, and you deliver with this.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's on the one hand, it's like the most Predator that you could possibly be. You're actually with them on their home world, seeing what shapes them into the actual galaxy's greatest hunters, but also something that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to ask you to reveal this, Dan, but in Predator Badlands, should we keep an eye out for an Easter egg or anything like that during the film?
There's a bunch.
Okay.
Some of them more overt and literal than others, but
I'm going to bring up one, if I may.
Go ahead. Yes. What did you spot?
Rumors have been that they one of the skulls was there was an homage or a nod to Independence Day.
Yeah, I mean, Independence Day was originally released by 20th Century Studios.
Yeah.
So certainly it could be included. We have the rights.
We're going to take that as a tacit yes.
There's you can spot Nadu in the movie, the protagonist from Prey somewhere. Also, there's the creature from the end of Killer of Killers we call the Backbiter that is also visible in the movie. And then there's also lovely aliens Easter eggs throughout.
Love all that. I mean, at the end of Predator 2, when you saw and it started the whole thing going, the Aliens versus Predator, when you saw an alien skull in that trophy case, you're like, holy crap. and that, again, that's why I understand for you to deliver on this is such a wonderful thing, that lore, that legend.
I love the sequence in Killer of Killers that's in Japan and there's no dialogue through it. That was so great. And I know that that's indicative of some of that anime, Aeon Flux and things like that. But is that a more interesting or different portion of a film to create when you have no dialogue?
Love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the genesis of Prey. Was I was trying to think of a movie that could be told primarily through action.
Yeah.
And then thinking of a unique protagonist, and then thinking of how much I love the idea of period and sci-fi, two things that don't normally go together, and all that formed into The Predator. That's sci-fi.
Yeah.
In period. It comes looking for the most worthy, and we're already thinking of telling a story about someone trying to prove their worth. That's why we made something that was fresh. I wasn't thinking of, how do I just make Predator cool again? It didn't come from that direction. It came from just thinking of, how do I make a cool movie? And it's weird that I have made 3 of these things that have all played with dialogue in a very peculiar way.
Yeah.
Some of them being largely silent, as you're pointing out. Also in Killer of Killers is, dialogue in Ancient Norse and 3 characters who speak in different languages.
Right, yeah,
and then, of course, the Yautja in Badlands and the Comanche in Prey. And I think there's something about, we say about sci-fi in general, how it gives us perspective on our own lives because it's not mired in all the stuff that we deal with day to day. So we're able to gain perspective on the story. And I think things told in a different language do exactly that as well.
Do you believe, and I've said this a lot about the writing of Rod Serling and other great sci-fi writers, and Richard Matheson or anybody, even you could take Dune, and if you extract the science fiction from it, it still stands as a character study, as drama.
Yeah.
And it's the sci-fi that helps facilitate that, but it still stands without it.
1,000%. And it also, if you have the same kind of story told with present day context, then we all get stuck on the way and on that context and our connotations to present day politics, our relationship to technology and all those things. And
it frees it.
It frees it. That's why Western is so powerful.
Yeah.
And the sci-fi genre. Yeah.
To talk about things that could have been, I did read that you were possibly going to be directing some Stranger Things, an episode or 2, but that ended up not being able to be worked out.
Yeah, it was when I thought I could fit it in between Badlands and Killer of Killers. And then they both got greenlit at the same time.
Oh, boy.
So there's just no way I could do 3 things at once.
It's a good problem to have.
But we were mixing Badlands at the same time that they were mixing Stranger Things. So I roped the Duffers, who I become friends with, the creators of Stranger Things. I roped them into a sound booth and got them to record some Yautja, and they are the voice of Quay's ship. The computer voice. Are both brothers smashed together.
Don't want to put you on the spot, but how does the series Stranger Things wrap up?
Let me tell you. So you're not going to believe that they. But when and they returned the favor and they showed me the finale of one of the episodes, and it was absolutely brilliantly made. I had goosebumps. Had a lump in my throat, sweaty palms, so good. I'm so excited for people to see. Yeah, season 5.
The Duffers are again. I think you all fall in that realm, and I think like Matt Reeves and you guys are all you're very you're fans, but you're going along and you're picking projects logically, and they're in your press. We talk about this. Filmmakers and creators who get us excited about. We're hooked. Where are you going? We're going to follow. And it's your work speaks for itself. So we're thrilled with what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So after this, you're doing promotion right now. The movie opens tomorrow. This is the big, what's going to happen thing.
Yeah.
We've talked to many people who have had, a next day premiere date, and you just kind of sit back and wait and see how it comes in.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you're working on right now? Because you're doing, the heavy PR thing right now, but.
No, we just finished the movie only a couple weeks ago, frankly.
Really?
And putting the final bells and whistles on everything. And I certainly started out with a bit of an idea of what we'd want to do if we got to do more. And when I came up with Badlands and Killer of Killers, there was like a third idea that I was equally excited about.
Is it a very expensive remake of Kickin'?
I can tell you here right now on WMMR, no, it is not.
Last night's screening was shown in IMAX, and can you talk about the IMAX experience? sonically as well as visually?
Yeah, I mean, so we QC every single format of the DCP, of the final print of the movie, so to speak, and IMAX is my treasured favorite one.
Because the first two were to Hulu.
They were Hulu, yeah.
This is
big and theatrical.
This has to be IMAX.
And IMAX, I know everybody associates with the big screen, and this is awesome on that giant screen. But even more importantly is the sound that I know everyone at home thinks they have great sound because we have these sound bars that try to replicate it. Let me tell you, when you go to an IMAX theater, you really feel it everywhere. And it's just kick butt. Yeah, it's awesome.
So will there be any moment like where it sounds like it's coming from behind you, like something like, Jesus, what was that?
I mean, I had this very, very palpable memory of seeing Jurassic Park in the theater.
Yeah.
And looking behind me, feeling like the dinosaur, because it was one of the first, I think it was SDDS at the time.
Right.
Or THX. They were, anyway, so I always have that in my heart when I'm making something on this scale. And people will be freaked.
Real quick, will this be shown in 4DX? Do you know?
I have ridden the 40X ride of this movie, and it's also crazy.
All right, so as a director, what kind of input do you have in 4DX?
They show you the film, they've done a pass, and then kind of like most things, and then you give notes on specific. Oh, it could be really cool if we did this here, or maybe this is too much there, that kind of thing.
I think you do. For me, I don't know, and maybe you can confirm this or agree with this or not. It's your prerogative. I think you see the movie as the movie, and then if you love it, you go back and ride it in the 4DX.
I like that.
Yeah, I think
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the 4DX.
Not only because you're paying twice, but also I really genuinely think that is the right way to do it.
If you're not distracted by the movements, you can take in the film as it was meant to be seen.
Agreed.
All right, and then one final thing, because we had a story, we did an entertainment news segment earlier this morning, and I've forgotten who I was quoting, but it may have been one of your producers saying that eventually in the Predator franchise, the Holy Grail would be to swing Arnold back in somehow or another. And in that, it was quoted as saying that you and Arnold have actually had a quick chat about that.
We did. That's how we were able to finally put in that ending of Killer of Killers.
So that preceded that.
We had a little sit down.
All right.
And he was just as awesome as you think.
Of course he is, yeah.
He assumed that I was a fellow German, and I'm not. Our name was changed on Ellis Island, but he was very excited to meet a young German boy.
Were you affecting a little accent just for
This first I was like, maybe I go with it, and it's
how's
to
the
be honest.
strudel here?
Yeah. But he said that you'd think that "I'll be back" is the quote he's heard yelled at him the most, but actually it is
Get to the chopper. It's got to be, right?
You got it.
Because you can yell that at someone.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think it is because they probably see him from across the street. Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
There it is.
Get to the chopper. Ugly motherfucker.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
And you're listen. You've breathed life back into it. So and we're excited for where you're taking it. It's awesome. I love to see it at this point in this series that was kind of okay. It's going to do what it's going to do, and now it's like, oh, look what it's doing.
Yeah, man. Cool. Hey, man, congratulations to you, and we're especially proud of you. Being from this area. And representing. So
thank you.
We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Very awesome.
Predator Badlands in theaters tomorrow. Do not miss it. Let's hear for Dan Trachtenberg. Yeah. All right, take a break. We'll be right back. So make sure you stay with us.
Going to break.
Joanna.
Fireplace. How do you break a fireplace?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But let me ask you: Does she? If you get her, away from the fireplace and she can talk freely, will she admit to liking a fireplace?
Oh yeah, she loves it.
It doesn't make any sense.
We never used a fireplace in our old home.
Yeah. Thanks, Joanna.
Good people. Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
Well, we lived there for 10 years and never, and it was the first fireplace that I ever owned in my entire life.
Did you not use it because you thought it was going to break?
I didn't use it because my wife said we can't use it.
Did you ever ask her why?
What's that in your mouth? Spit it out.
Spit it out. Spit it out.
What did I tell you about baby birds?
Stop it.
I think she was worried about burning the house down, and
a lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people are of fireplaces and just in general.
It's what it's made for.
Yeah.
This is made to
But
put a fire.
House
in
can
there.
set on fire for a multitude of other reasons.
Well, we own fireplaces now that we've put fires in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're just outside.
Let me. I know.
You brought those fires home and then you put them in the fire. Yeah.
Hi, Terry. You're on the air. Good
Fire to
morning.
go, please.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Terry?
well, so my husband inherited a really nice and big snowblower from his dad about 7 years ago and refuses to use it. He always has an excuse. There's not enough snow, or the snow might be too heavy, or I can't get it out of the garage. And I just don't understand why he won't use the damn snowblower.
And he'll just go out and shovel it instead.
Yeah. He'll just go out and shovel it, and I don't understand.
Terry, give him the data on how many people have heart attacks shoveling, and try to convince him that way. Because right,
I'm trying.
yeah. But I know people who will do that with the snow blowers as well. Not enough snow to snow blow.
Yeah. But it's what it's made for. All right. Thank you, Terry. Here's one that says, my grandmother would turn off her blinker stuck at traffic lights to save the bulb.
The blinker bulb.
You're supposed to leave that light on.
Oh my God, that's great.
And same with windshield wipers.
I love it.
Said it was more of a cheap thing.
Oh, my God.
So you didn't want the wipers to wear out.
Yeah.
That's funny. God. Here's one of the things I noticed way too late in life was that if you have with products, let's say like a vacuum cleaner, or something along those lines, and after you go through a couple of them and they fall apart, if you realize that you do the recommended regular maintenance, cleaning things, taking it apart, some of those things will last freaking ever, man. You just have to do these cleaning steps every now and then, and it'll last.
That's another thing. You bring up the vacuum cleaner that I do with its charging, the handheld vacs, computers, phones, all of that. Like, I don't like to leave it plugged in and charging constantly.
You can actually, in some cases, you can damage the battery.
Well, I don't know if that's still true or not.
But for the most part, no, you should be fine.
So I use the vacuum until it dies, and then I plug it in, and then when I check it throughout the day. If the charge is done, I unplug it.
I wonder how the battery is.
Yeah, seriously, because I don't want to ruin the battery.
Dennis, check the battery on the shark.
We have these. I'm sorry, Nick. No, we have these power tools that use batteries, and the batteries can be used for various tools. A drill for this one, it's
lithium batteries.
Yeah, so you move them from one product to another. So I mounted these chargers on the wall, stick them up there, leave them charged all the time because you never know when you're going to need to do a project, and you have it ready to go. Well, I don't know who was doing it, but every now and then someone would unplug the charger, and I would go and need to use the battery.
It was me. I was coming over and unplugging your.
You turn it on and go, and I'm like,
what?
I mounted this thing to the wall and plugged it in.
So I have a whole bank of. I use the iWorks, the gardening equipment, from the leaf blower to the lawnmower. They're all electric. And I go in, I have them, Preston, just like you, the bank all along. They're ready to go, boom, boom, boom. And I go in and I go, what is that? And I'm because there's a button you can check to see how charged the batteries are. And they're all powered down. I'm like, what? They were all connected into a power strip. Somebody
turned it off.
Power strip on.
Real quick, Steve, do you keep those in the garage or in the house?
In the garage. Now, I've heard that when it gets brutally cold.
Somebody told me this too. I brought all that stuff inside for that very reason.
And
hot or cold.
You're told to blow up if
I know. I keep
what
all
do
those.
you do?
Yeah, I keep them in the kitchen for whatever. Like there's one cabinet in the kitchen that's not used. So if my mom's come over, she's like, "Where do you keep the glasses?" Like that's actually where the batteries are.
The glasses are in the garage.
Yeah. But Preston, real quick, I know you're not a big kitchen gadget guy, but when I get a new knife, I hold on. I don't use it right away, and I think it's because I want to keep it pristine.
You want to keep it super sharp.
Yeah, and really clean and just perfect. Do you ever do that with new kitchen items? Do
No.
you dive in right away.
Made to be used.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, wait a second.
In my mind.
This also goes to another conversation, which is how quickly do you. I do like things to look nice and pristine. So there are things like ice. After a while, we were talking yesterday about hiking shoes and stuff like that. I'm like, nah. If they get too scuffed up, that'll be an extravagance.
There's a crossing point.
Sorry, it's not up to my standard. It doesn't look right.
Nick, I have 19 pairs of scissors because I use the old scissors to cut things like opening boxes or something that's thicker, and then the newer, sharper scissors are for the things that need like a nice, clean
finer cut.
Yeah.
It's like
And you need 19 of them?
Oh, you can find scissors all over my house in every room.
Hey, this is the crafts queen, right?
Steve, I have 3 pairs of these sneakers that I'm wearing right now, and they have I have used them in stages. In fact, I drew like a letter on the tongue of the shoe, so I didn't use them for what they weren't intended for. So the oldest version of those,
I do the sneaker phase. I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm
so
following you.
the oldest version were my cycling shoes, and then the newest version are I only wore them to jog, and then
are they identical?
Identical,
and that's why you have to mark them.
I had to mark them, so I had jogging, cycling, and then everyday shoes.
So I go left to right. So,
Yeah.
so the pair of shoe that's the furthest left, it's like in people jumping out of an airplane, skydiving. They're at the door, and so those are the ones that are the prime ones for using. And then it goes, and then they start to circle around into the Goodwill pile.
Yeah, and now I have my lawn mowing shoes, and I'm actually really proud of myself, Kathy, because you have a lawn mowing shoe guy.
No, I just want to go to a call when you eventually stop talking. So,
hang on a second, Preston. I got something for you here.
Hold on.
I need you to stop talking and listen to me.
Go ahead.
No, I'm proud of myself because my lawn mowing shoes I've been using for like 3 whole years now.
I'm going to go back to people not using things because they're afraid they will break.
Yeah.
And I will go to Barbara, who's been on hold for a while. Hey, Barbara, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. What's up, Barbara?
My brothers and I just sold a house that we inherited from my father. They bought it in 1986, and they never used the dishwasher.
There you go.
We had the realtor come in, and I was telling her, I said, I think the dishwasher's broken. My brother's like, no, it works. They just never used it.
And is it from 1986? Is it that old?
Oh, yes.
The
Yes,
washer?
it was the original dishwasher that was put in the house.
I bet you that. So it would probably still run. It's not going to, I mean, it's a functional dishwasher. But did they ever explain why they chose not to use it? Was it for this reason, for fear of breaking it?
Yes, they didn't want to, nothing technical. Like that was high tech back then in 1986 to them.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
hilarious.
Apparently it's a thing. All right. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it.
All right.
I'm going to go back to an older situation as well. This is Joe who's on the air. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. What's up, Joe?
You guys remember back in like the 70s when you get in a car, the seatbelts were kind of tucked up and folded above the window?
Yes.
And little brackets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd get in the car, and my dad, he was kind of a perfectionist, and he wouldn't let me take the seatbelt out of the little thing above the window because he thought it'll never go back neatly. So he never let us use the seatbelt.
He would rather have you not use the seatbelt to maintain the aesthetic.
Oh, yeah. I used to try to get it out. And he'd be like, don't touch that. You'll never get that. Get away from that. Stop playing with that. And I'm like, Dad, it's a seatbelt. He's like, you feel that dashboard? Push on it.
Now,
and,
would he make you ride on the hood of the car so that you wouldn't screw up the seats?
Oh.
That's
funny.
crazy. Yeah.
All right,
So
thanks.
to this day,
Yeah.
it's
All right.
still a joke.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. All right. How about this? Let's go to Stuart. Hey, Stuart, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, Stuart?
I got one for you.
All right.
My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she had an in-ground swimming pool in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
She never went in it. She paid for the pool guy to open it and maintain it. And I asked her, how come you never use it? She just told me that she liked looking at it and she wanted waterfront property.
Oh, my gosh.
But she never used the pool.
True story.
Never used the pool.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
if she's paying for the maintenance, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. A little bit different than what we're talking about, but that's interesting. Yeah.
Well, and this is slightly different as well, but can you go to Steve on line 2, Preston?
Line 2.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Press.
Hey, what's up, bud?
My best friend to this day, his father back in the 70s, 80s, and part of the 90s, whenever he would get a new car, would pop the hubcaps off and put them in the trunk because he was afraid they were going to get stolen.
May as well give them to somebody.
Right.
Take
the hubcaps off.
Oh, that's funny.
So he would immediately take a beautiful brand new car and make it look like a piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. For fear of them being stolen.
Hey, these doors, someone might take them.
Let's go to Jennifer. Hi there, Jennifer. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
What's up, Jennifer?
Okay, so I'm a lifelong camper, and with the internet, there are things like social media groups, etc. So I started following a bunch of camping groups on Facebook, and I discovered that there's a whole crew of campers that do not poop in their camper.
They don't poop in their camper.
They don't poop in the camper. Isn't that what it's for?
Yeah, exactly. It's made for that specifically. What is? Did they give their reasons why they don't want to do it?
I don't know. I think they're afraid of the black tank. I don't know if they don't want to dump their poop or what, but there's literally a hashtag no poop in the camper.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah, I mean, well, you guys know, like, when you're at camp out for hunger and
WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by the Bagster. And you can buy yours now at any home improvement store. Just $29.99. You fill it up. They pick it up on your schedule. The Bagster. Dumpster in a bag. Buy. Fill. Gone. So a Florida man has been accused of smashing pumpkins valued at nearly $500. Police said that Aaron Thompson came out of the night last week and destroyed about 80 pumpkins that were stored in front of a Target in the Tampa Bay area.
Oh, man.
A security camera recorded Thompson picking pumpkins out of the boxes located in front of the store.
Goddamn pumpkins.
Smashing them on the ground. Thompson was arrested.
They're just gourds.
He was arrested several days later after he returned to the store and police were summoned. Brought to the loss prevention office and shown the surveillance video footage, Thompson was asked if he could identify the person smashing the pumpkins in the video, and he said, "That's me." Asked why he destroyed scores of gourds, Thompson stated he did it because someone was messing with him on Facebook and it made him mad.
Oh, well, I didn't think about that.
My bad. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thompson, cops added, was unapologetic.
That must be my evil twin.
He was unapologetic about his actions, and after smashing the pumpkins, he left the scene to go to sleep. The pulverized...
It was my tribute to the grunge music of the 90s.
Pumpkins were worth close to $500. He was charged with felony criminal mischief and was being held in the county jail.
By the way, a pumpkin, when you purchase a pumpkin by weight, it's pretty pricey. You know,
they can be. In London, there's a growing movement to ban snogging in the tube before 10 in the morning. For those unfamiliar with the underground subway system, it's called the tube, and the term snogging refers to public displays of affection or making out. It seems that there's a growing feeling among morning commuters that seeing people playing tonsil hockey with each other on the subway isn't what they want to experience first thing in the morning.
So is snogging, and I've heard the term, can it exceed just simply making out?
I think it's just kissing.
Okay.
But if you're all over the place, they literally are thinking about making it illegal before 10 a.m. After that, it's okay.
It's stupid.
I don't understand.
It's incredibly stupid. PDA?
But yeah, so there's a movement.
10 o'clock seems about right.
Try and make this happen. So
all handies must stop after 5 p.m.
I will let you know.
It's a term that shows up in Harry Potter quite a bit.
Absolutely. A raid was conducted early Saturday morning by police in Alliance, Ohio, and it seems that an out-of-business diner had been turned into an illegal after-hours bar.
Wow.
And residents in the surrounding neighborhoods had finally had enough of the alleged noise, fights, drug activity, and DUI offenses.
Out of a former diner?
Yeah. During the raid, cops removed about 50 people from the building and seized a large quantity of alcohol as well as a dozen firearms. 4 people were also arrested on charges including outstanding arrest.
I just want a cheeseburger.
Arrest warrants, drug possession, and illegal operation of a liquor establishment. How hard is it to pull that off, man?
Yeah.
A closed, and you just move in and start setting up business?
I guess people, they must have a reason for being in there.
Yeah. All right, an Australian man is in the record books for his extra long name. Lawrence Watkins legally changed his name in March 1990 to include 2,251 middle names and recently read them all, and it took over an hour to do so.
Wow.
Watkins is now officially in the Guinness Book of World Records for the name. After his name change, Australian authorities passed a law to prevent anyone else from trying to repeat Watkins' feat.
Rocky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
That's not even close,
That's
right?
his nickname, actually, which he did specifically to break the record. But yeah, it's 2,251 middle names.
Legally, are you required to put a middle name on a license?
I don't know.
My middle name is on my license.
Mine is as well.
Yeah.
I dated a girl one time. Her name was Anime Maria Lakeegan Del Rosario.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this the receptionist at the...
No. She was Filipino, and there are a lot of hardcore Catholics in Filipino in the Philippines.
And the names are like an honor to relatives.
Anime
right?
Maria.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lakeegan means. Anime Maria Lakeegan Del Rosario, and Del Rosario means of the Rosary.
It's an exotic name.
Although it's not necessarily legal, I kind of have like a bunch of because I have a saint name and a confirmation.
What's your confirmation name?
Robert.
And what's your saint name?
Joseph.
So I'm Stephen Michael Paul Morrison. And Paul, not after St. Paul, which I kind of bucked the system. You know who it is. Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Casey Caffernall, Joseph Robert.
An employee shared on Reddit that they stopped going to their office for 3 months without anyone noticing. The company had asked workers to return to the office twice a week, but after dealing with long commutes, to just sit in a half-empty office and join Zoom meetings with colleagues who were still working from home, they decided to stop showing up. One day after a train delay, the employee chose not to go in and never went back. They continued working from home, meeting all their deadlines, and staying active on company chats.
He also won the office most popular contest.
3 months later, their manager even complimented them for being really engaged lately.
Stop it.
The employee
You're so good with everyone here.
Pointed out that in today's world, presence just means replying fast enough on message platforms like Teams.
Just knowing you're not here is enough for us.
The post got over 30,000 upvotes on Reddit and sparked hundreds of comments from people sharing similar experiences. Some suggested creative workarounds like leaving donuts at the office to prove they'd been there, while others noted that remote work seems to work best for responsible workers who get their jobs done regardless of location. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you today. All right, we'll take another break. When we get back, we'll have a lesson question I'll set up for you. We'll dive into the trash and some music news on top of that, too. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Like, it's not that if you have to, it's fine. That's what it's there for. But if, like, there is the alternative to go elsewhere, like, for example, Ulta, when we used to do the Plymouth meeting, like, you would prefer Ulta to the RV pooper. And so I understand that mentality. It's there for a reason. If you got to go, you got to go. But, like, if you can find an alternative, find the alternative.
I might see that. I don't see refusing to do it, though.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Listen, push comes to shove, no pun intended. We'll use that camper pooper. Yeah.
Here's some text. Says, my dad refused to buy trash bags because you were buying them to throw them away.
So what did you do with trash?
He would make special trips to the grocery store for small bags and Walmart for even larger bags for the larger trash cans. Even if he couldn't buy something to fill the bag, he would ask the cashier for a wad of those big bags.
Oh, my God.
So in essence, a lot of what you buy from the grocery, you're buying it knowing you're going to throw it away.
That's funny. He wouldn't buy them because you're purchasing something that you're just going to throw away.
Just going to throw it away.
That's funny. But it has a purpose.
Yeah.
Right. You know?
Why get a toilet? You're just going to flush that stuff.
All right, here we go. What is this, Nick?
I'm confused by the details at the end.
All right, shall I read the last part first?
Just what the grandparents do. My grandparents lived.
It says, my grandparents lived until they were in their late 90s, and they used their dishwasher all the time. They even had a little magnet that would say clean or unclean with a little piggy on it that they would rotate to say what condition the dishes were. We had that when I was a kid.
You did?
Yeah, clean or dirty.
And it was a little piggy?
Not a piggy.
Oh,
but
all right.
We had this thing, and it had it was a magnet. It had it said dishes are, and then it had a little chain to another piece underneath it that you could flip over that would say clean or dirty.
That's cool.
Like that.
And that way you wouldn't have to guess when you're standing at the
I
sink.
could have used that yesterday because I loaded dirty dishes into a clean dishwasher.
Yeah, that sucks. Hey, how often do you change your bath towel? Like, do you use the same bath towel over and over again?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Like a week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, dear God.
Something
January
like that.
1st is what
Yeah,
I do.
I do the same thing only because it's clean. I'm drying myself with clean water on a clean body, and so I don't feel like it's as dirty, and I don't feel like loading the hamper with laundry that is
Yeah, I'm
unnecessary.
that way.
Okay.
You're not a barbarian.
No,
you're not
I am
alone.
not.
You're not alone. Kathy thinks it's disgusting, but
Not just. Sometimes you have to be careful of the smell and mildew growing.
oh, sure, yeah. I mean, well, I hang it up to dry, to air dry, so
like
you know,
line
Over the
after that.
TV.
Yeah.
Are you once a week? How often you wash them?
No, like probably every other day.
Oh, man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry.
see. Let me go to.
I use the washer. I have no problem using that.
I have Frank on the line. Hey, Frank. Good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. Frank, what's up, man?
So my car came with 2 remote starts, and one of them broke. So I have a second one that works perfectly fine, but like I don't want to go through that loss again, so I just don't use it. And I'd rather just walk out to my car, start in the morning, and then go back in the house being like, gosh, I wish I still had 2 remote starts.
You don't want to risk it because you're down to just one. What if that breaks?
You had a backup.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know how to replace the remote start, so we're just not going to go through.
Like, what would someone do if they wanted to get a new one? You'd have to, I guess, go buy one.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right? All right. Thank you for
Can't play me for a sucker.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this all got started because of this email that we got who said that the guy's in-laws' garbage disposal, they refuse to use it because they don't want to break it, so they actually keep a trash bag in the sink next to it.
It's funny, yeah.
To just throw the scraps in. Which, by the way, I did. We had a clog, a drain issue, and we had I called Horizon out, and the tech came and fixed, and he was telling me some stuff about the garbage disposal that I didn't know. As far as using, he's like, yeah, I mean, it's there for the purpose of breaking that stuff up and it going down the tube, but not everything breaks up that well and can eventually cause a clog. And he was telling me some of the things I didn't realize. He said what you shouldn't put in the garbage disposal, eggshells. Yeah. He said they eventually, he described them as a net. There's a membrane on the inside of the shell, and it goes down in there, and it won't fully dissolve, and it will. I have thrown thousands of eggs down into the disposal over years, and he's like, yeah, that's one you need to avoid. I was like, I had no idea.
I think potatoes can turn into like a glue.
Okay.
So like there are a whole bunch of foods that you can't put down there because
what's the purpose then?
I know, but you got to be selective in what you can and can't put down there.
Nick pulled up this list real quick. I know we have to take a break, Case, but let's see. Oh, clam and oyster shells. Really?
Yeah, don't do that.
I didn't
rocks,
know that.
Don't put rocks in there.
What about wrenches?
No, grease, oil, a large amount of vegetable peels, large number of eggshells, it says here, artichokes in particular, and corn husks are things you should stay away from. Wow. Okay. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for your calls. We appreciate it. And thank you to Brian from Lewis, Delaware, for sending in that suggestion. We have to take a break because we're going to go live on Fox Good Day when we return. We have the bizarre file to get to. We have MMR's concert cash and your first chance at winning $500 and MMR bikini tickets to the field. And you can walk on my team. You can participate and be a part of this if you donate and sign up for Team Preston WMMR. You get a team T-shirt. We will actually get to walk on Lincoln Financial Field. If you've always wanted to be down there on the field,
pretty cool.
Chance to do that. Swoop will be there, Eagles cheerleaders, and not to brag or anything, but I'm this year's media honored hero.
Wow.
So I'm getting an award. So thank you, everyone. Please quiet down. And you can hear my call late in the night. Whatever it is, I can't make that noise again. And that's me. So anyhow, yeah, it's coming up on the 12th of June, and it's for Crohn's and Colitis Foundation research, education, and patient support services for those suffering from inflammatory bowel diseases, which are insanely painful, gang. So if you could help out, that would be great. And sign up for the team. And just go to WMMR.com and click on events, and you will find the info there, and would love to have you on the team.
Preston, I got a text yesterday from Giovanna Pisano. Giovanna won our Isolation Idol contest. Remember that from 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic? her band, Dinah, is going to be playing at your event. So she's and she saw the information on the website, and she's like, oh, my God, I get to see Preston. She was on our show via Zoom, but never got to meet us.
Yeah.
So Giovanna and her band are going to be there at that event on June 12th, which
By
is
the
really
way,
cool.
They always have several bands in different parts of the concourse playing as you're walking along, and there's usually, like superheroes and things. It's really cool.
But it's cool also. You've had to do it in a more mitigated way over the past couple of years, and this is sort of a return to what everyone loved about the event.
All these upcoming events are finally going to be what they once were, which is great. So participate
them
if you can. We and them. All right, I got this email. It was a little while back, but better late than never. I thought this was an interesting question to pose to people. So I got this email from Brian, who lives in, is it Lewis, Delaware? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Lewis, Delaware, yeah. L-A-W-E-S, Lewis, Delaware. He said, hey, he said, I had an idea that I thought might be interesting. Recently, I learned that my in-laws have a garbage disposal, and they refuse to use it because they don't want to break it. They keep a trash bag in the sink for food scraps instead of allowing them to go into the garbage disposal.
So they have a device that they never use for fear of breaking it.
Yes. And he said, this is pure insanity to me. And it got me to thinking, if there are other things of convenience that some people refuse to use for fear of breaking them. So, and he also said, additionally, it's become clear to me that people love to do greetings when they go live on the air. I thought maybe a segment maybe called the Salutation Station would be cool. And it would allow people to get in and get their greeting fix. Now, we'll worry about that another time. But anyhow, that's an interesting question. So you have this device that is made specifically for this one thing to do, yet you don't want to use it because you might break it. But what's the point of having it if you're not going to use it?
I know this phenomenon exists with a lot of people. I'm a gadget guy, so I will use it. I immediately adopt something and I'll use whenever I get it. But I am aware of people who will buy things and
we're making our way through a work week. You know how these are. But Friday Insight No Sad Bro is right around the corner. Don't forget, tonight, Marissa Magnot is going to be at Founding Fathers for a Bud Light kickoff party tonight. And if you stop by between 7 and 9, it's your chance to win Eagles tickets. That's for the November 28th game against the Bears. And this courtesy of our friends at Bud Light. But there are other things to win, too. Obviously, that's the big prize. But if you pop in, you can take advantage of $5 Bud Light aluminums and also win prizes like Kelly Green MMR T-shirts and koozies and stuff like that. And if you do end up winning those tickets to see the Birds play the Bears, you will be qualified for the grand prize, which are Eagles playoff tickets, conditional upon them making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So stop by and see Marissa tonight, 7 to 9, Founding Fathers, which is at 16th and South in Center City. So hang out for a bit. And Marissa's fun to hang out with.
In general, these things are super huge hits. People always have a blast.
Yep. All right, so we are going to ask a lesson question today, and we're going to give away as a prize $50 gift card to Nifty 50s. Nick, I'm going to go off the board here and just see if you found out what was Casey eating that distracted him during his time in a school zone. 610-660-9333 is the number. We're talking about crossing guards and stuff like that. And Casey said there was a food item that distracted him in the school zone. What was it? 610-660-9333. If you know, call and we'll do the trash while you're calling.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by the iconic Lorenzo's and Sons Pizza, Philadelphia staple with locations in Westchester, in Stateside Live, and Live Casino Hotel Philadelphia. Visit lorenzoswestchester.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, Sports Illustrated model Haley Khalil revealing she divorced former NFL star Matt Khalil because his penis is the size of 2 Coke cans. Khalil says it wasn't pleasurable at all, noting that her vagina now looks like a Demogorgon.
Oh, my God.
Former American Idol contestant Randy Madden has been released on bond after being arrested for having sex with a minor. Madden says he's taking complete responsibility for his actions and realizes it will now take much longer for America to idolize him.
Oh, my God.
And finally, yet another death has occurred at Disney World with a 40-year-old woman passing away on Sunday. From what we understand, Disney has now commissioned a new park song called It's a Small World and Getting Smaller After All.
All right, we'll see if somebody happens to know the answer to this question. What was Casey eating that distracted him as he was going through the school zone? And we're going to go to Mark, try and get ourselves an answer. Mark, you are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's a YouTuber. All right, what was Casey eating that distracted him through the school zone?
Those amazing tacos.
As a taco. Hang on, Mark. We are going to give you a $50 gift card at Nifty 50s. Now they have a Preston and Steve inspired milkshake gingerbread blast, and it's available through November 23rd. And you can order it and help support the Camp Out for Hunger. You can taste the memories at Nifty 50s.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Worldwide Stereo, the Better Than Black Friday 3-day holiday savings event is back November 7th through the 9th, and no one does holiday shopping like they do. Worldwide Stereo, Montgomeryville, Wayne, and worldwidestereo.com. I just have two things for you. Two men got arrested and charged with trespassing after they climbed a central speaker tower during a Metallica show at Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia on Saturday.
It's crazy.
A 20-year-old and a 23-year-old both scaled the structure while the band performed. Police ordered the pair to climb down and arrest them when they didn't comply. Both will appear in court at a later date. Social media footage captured the shirtless men climbing the tower during the song One. The structure stood near the center of the stadium and was rigged with speaker stacks. Officers escorted both individuals out after taking them into custody. And you can see why they maybe did this, because the Perth performance was the first time that the band has played in Australia in more than 12 years. So they haven't had their Metallica
Boys got a little carried away, didn't they?
Long time. Yeah, more than 60,000 tickets were sold.
We got a hold of some bad Vegemite.
Evanescence and Suicidal Tendencies opened up that show. And then one other thing, and that's all that I have for you, something you may not have had on your Christmas list, an extended holiday track from My Chemical Romance. It's a new Yo Gabba Gabba Christmas album featuring My Chemical Romance and Devo's Mark Mothersbaugh. It's coming out on November 14th. The 20-track album called A Very Awesome Yo Gabba Gabba Christmas collects holiday music from Christmas episodes of the show, including songs from Season 1's Christmas and Season 4's A Very Awesome Christmas Special. My Chemical Romance contributes an extended version of Every Snowflake is Different, Just Like You.
I'd like to see a supergroup form with them and the Emmett Otter Jug Band.
Yeah. Ooh. Other guests appearing on the album include Tony Hawk, Colts, Ricky Fitness. Ricky Fitness is from the Aquabats. Jason Little from Granddaddy, James Huggins from Montreal, and Leslie Hall as well. Yo Gabba Gabba. We used to watch that show. It was an acid trip.
Yes, that's what I understand.
All right, and there you go. That's all I have in music news. A quick one for you today. That means we have one more break to take. We're going to do that when we come back. That letter of the day for the oh-so-important Word of the Week prize when we get back, and we'll see what Ryan's got in store for you today. Stay put.
I do it all the time.
Oh,
I do it
are you guilty of this?
Yeah. The time.
By the way, if you are in this situation, call us. I want to hear it. 215-263-WMMR. All right, what is it?
So it's not that I won't use things. It's that I use them
sparingly.
Yes, when absolutely necessary.
Like super sparingly.
Yes.
Will you actually do extra work even though you have something that could get something? Okay.
So Casey and I we usually walk into work together, and he noticed it, I guess, a couple of times, and then finally said something to me. So this is just one example. Here at the station, when you walk into the building, there's the door that you can hit for, it's like a handicap, and it'll for somebody walking through, and it'll open the door for them.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only door you can get in the morning when we scan our key card, because the doors are locked.
It's the only one that unlocks.
That unlocks, right? Once we get into the vestibule, all of the doors are open. There's several
there's like
doors.
6 doors you can go through, yeah.
I won't go through the other handicap door. I won't open that handicap door because it's automatic.
It's
and
the door
I'm
straight
using,
through, yeah.
So I'm using that door opener. It doesn't need to be. So I'll just go over to the one that I pull with my own hand and open.
Because you're afraid if you open it too often, it's eventually going to cause this to malfunction.
Correct.
Okay.
I do it with my garage door opener at home.
You don't use your automatic garage
So
door
I will
opener?
go out my front door if, more often than not, because if I use the garage door opener so much, eventually it's going to break, right, guys?
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, wait, hold on. I had to have it replaced because it did break after 13 years.
So
13
Yeah.
years.
it's going to happen anyway.
13.
Yeah.
13 years.
Yeah.
I got 13 years out of it, but maybe did I get 13 years out of it because I used the front door?
Is this why you're asking about a garage door?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the garbage disposal, though, that I will use. Like, I'm not worried about that one.
Okay.
I know. So my on my wife's side of the family, one of the people, one of the not in-laws, forget who it is.
Her side of the
Anyway,
family.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you classify this person, but dishwasher doesn't use it. Dishwasher sitting right there in the kitchen does not use it
because of fear of it breaking.
That a perception of overuse of water,
Okay.
a perception of other things, and fear of breaking. All of that sort of. No, I don't want to screw with that.
I had a friend who I worked with, dishwasher, but for a different reason, not for fear of breaking. She would not use a dishwasher because she hated unloading the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, I hate that.
So therefore would hand wash everything, which you still have to put all that stuff away when you're done hand washing it. But there was something about putting it in, running it, and then opening it up and taking it back out that she did not want to.
She didn't like picking up the work on the other side.
Right.
So in other words, when you're washing it right then and there, you're putting it away. So it seems like it's all in one.
Yeah, like smaller amounts.
Right,
maybe.
yeah, but it's the same
Still
thing.
doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
Same thing, yeah.
In the almost 20 years that I've been a dishwasher owner, I don't think I've actually turned a dishwasher on maybe more than 5 or 6 times.
Oh my God. I'll run it like twice a day.
It's
Without
weird.
even dishes in it.
No, it's weird though because I just don't feel like the dishwasher gets the dishes clean enough, and it doesn't. And I think it's just because the way my kids load it, it just gets overloaded, or they won't rinse things out. They'll like listen. The commercials lie. You can't put a full-on spaghetti dinner into the dishwasher, and the dishwasher's going to clean it up. It just doesn't work that way. So, as far as I'm concerned, the dishwashers, I can do a better job and in less time.
So here's the deal. If you're basically halfway there, cleaning off the dishes,
May as well
there's
go ahead and finish it.
Just finish it.
Yeah.
Right?
By the way, here's a text says, my friend's mom got a brand new $10,000 lawnmower.
No.
What? It better be a riding lawnmower.
I'll buy it from you.
For Christmas and refuses to use it. Uses the old one still because the new one looks too pretty and doesn't want to mess it up.
Listen, I get that.
I'll do that. I'll use the older item until so here's one, a hair dryer, right? I bought a new hair dryer and they're fairly expensive, but I still have I still have a little bit of use out of my old hair dryer. So I'm trying to get until that completely dies, and then I'll start with the new
Get rid of it.
Yeah. But I understand that reasoning because when you see a nice brand new work truck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From guys that actually use it. It's not like a glamour truck like some of these guys.
This is my glamour truck.
Well,
yeah, I know
listen,
what you're saying, yeah.
you have these trucks that just look nice and they never put anything in the bed or whatever. But then you have these other guys that actually, really work for a living and they put everything.
It's so funny. It's because I have at home case, I have this Amazon. It's a collection of tools and everything's in this place and it's all very clean. And all the contractors that I know, all their equipment is all effed up and banged up because they're using it.
Well, yeah, my friend Bill, he just got this beautiful brand new truck. He showed it to me last year. He's like, "Oh, look at this." You open the door, the little the stool comes out. Little things you step on.
Step stool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, this is gorgeous." But how long until it's just all dented and scratched?
Yeah.
Here's a text says, my father refused to use the AC in the car when I was a kid, and still to this day because he doesn't want to fix it if something goes wrong with it.
Yeah.
No matter how hot and humid it is outside. But
wow.
But you're not using it. It may as well not work now if you're never going.
I'm at work. Stop calling me.
Sorry to bother you, Joanna. What's up?
So my mother, they've been going on 15 years maybe, refuses to use our fireplace in the house. Refuses.
Is it a gas-operated fireplace?
It is not. It's regular, but
Okay.
she's afraid that it's not going to work. That
It's not
somehow,
gonna-
even
fireworks.
though they've had it cleaned, they've had it cleaned when they bought the house. They've had it cleaned since. There's nothing wrong. It's a regular fireplace. Refuses. She's afraid that a catastrophe is going to happen.
Wow.
It's going to break. I'm like,
Joanna.
it's a fireplace. How do you
Right.
break a fireplace?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But let me ask you: Does she? If you get her, away from the fireplace and she can talk freely, will she admit to liking a fireplace?
Oh yeah, she loves it.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
We never used a fireplace in our old home.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joanna.
It's peaceful. Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
Well, we lived there for 10 years and it was the first fireplace that I ever owned in my entire life.
Did you not use it because you thought it was going to break?
I didn't use it because my wife said we can't use it.
Did you ever ask her why?
What's that in your mouth? Spit it out.
Spit it out.
Spit it out.
What did I tell you about baby birds?
Stop it.
I think she was worried about burning the house down. And
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people are of fireplaces and just in general.
It's what it's made for.
Yeah.
It's made to put a fire
House
in
can
there.
set on fire for a multitude of other reasons.
But we own fireplaces now that we've put fires in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're just outside.
Let me. I know.
You brought those fires home and then you put them in the fire. Yeah.
Hi, Terry. You're on the air. Good
Fire to
morning.
go, please.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Terry?
well, so my husband inherited a really nice and big snowblower from his dad about 7 years ago and refuses to use it. He always has an excuse. There's not enough snow, or the snow might be too heavy, or I can't get it out of the garage. And I just don't understand why he won't use the damn snowblower.
And he'll just go out and shovel it instead.
Yeah. He'll just go out and shovel it, and I don't understand.
Terry, give him the data on how many people have heart attacks shoveling, and try to convince him that way. Because right,
I'm trying.
yeah. But I know people who will do that with the snow blowers as well. Not enough snow to snow blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's what it's made for. All right. Thank you, Terry. Here's one that says, my grandmother would turn off her blinker stuck at traffic lights to save the bulb.
The blinker bulb.
You're supposed to leave that light on.
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's great.
And same with windshield wipers.
I love it.
Said it was more of a cheap thing.
Oh, my God.
So you didn't want the wipers to wear out.
Yeah.
That's funny. Here's one of the things I noticed way too late in life was that if you have with products, let's say like a vacuum cleaner, or
Sure,
something along those lines, and after you go through a couple of them and they fall apart, if you realize that you do the recommended regular maintenance, cleaning things, taking it apart, some of those things will last freaking ever, man. You just have to do these cleaning steps every now and then, and it'll last.
That's another thing you bring up, the vacuum cleaner that I do with its charging, the handheld vacs, computers, phones, all of that. Like I don't like to leave it plugged in and charging constantly.
You can
like
actually, in some cases, you can damage the battery.
Well, I don't know if that's still true or not.
But for the most part, no, you should be fine.
So I use the vacuum until it dies, and then I plug it in, and then when I check it throughout the day. If the charge is done, I unplug it.
I wonder how the battery is.
Yeah, seriously, because I don't want to ruin the battery.
Dennis, check the battery on the shark.
We have these. I'm sorry, Nick. No, we have these tools, power tools, that use batteries, and the batteries can be used for various tools. A drill for this one, it's stuff
lithium
like that.
batteries.
Yeah, so you move them from one product to another. So I mounted these chargers on the wall, stick them up there, leave them charged all the time because you never know when you're going to need to do a project, and you have it ready to go. Nirvana wrapping it up musically for us on the Preston and Steve show this morning with In Bloom of 93.3 WMMR. Of course, everything that rocks, 27 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. As we're coming in for a landing for now, and then getting ready for our No Sad Bro approach tomorrow morning. Like I said earlier this morning, Steve, we could use that.
Yes.
Use a little No Sad Bro. In our lives. But a few things to do before we wrap up for the day. Number one, we have to thank our one in studio guest this morning, Director Dan Trachtenberg.
Yeah, man.
He was excellent. And he is behind the helm of Predator Badlands, which opens tomorrow. Just reading Rotten Tomatoes giving it great numbers so far.
Did we just become best friends?
The advanced screenings. I think, I think we did. We really connected with him. Super nice guy, very easy to talk to. Grew up around the Willow Grove area, worked at the Willow Grove Mall, the Suncoast Videos, and went to Temple and graduated from there. And he did 10 Cloverfield Lane and this great animated film, if you haven't seen it on Netflix. It's a Predator Killer of Killers. I loved it. Loved it. And I flat out honestly told him, I'm like, I was kind of done with Predator. And then my son taught me into watching that, and I'm like, this is really, really good. And he directed that.
I love that animation style, too. You know what he does, too, and we didn't get to mention this, but this is something that's very smart. Because in the animation realm, you could have all that viscera and still have a decent, it could still approachable. And in the new movie, Badlands, because it's alien creatures and blood, you can go nuts without getting like an R rating that's prohibitive to some people seeing it.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing this. So it opens in theaters tomorrow. So it was nice to have Dan by here this morning. We have our buddy Ryan Shuttleworth, who is here.
Good day, my children.
Nice to see you, sir.
Good to be seen.
Before we get into the letter of the day, you were telling me something off air about Camp Out for Hunger.
Yes. So just want to let folks know on Monday during the midday slot of Camp Out, we will be having another producers roundtable. So the Pierre Robert producers, the Brotherhood, as I've been kind of lovingly calling it, different. We're trying to figure out timing of who's going to be where what, but it'll be myself, Nick McElwain, Pancake. We're working to get Kevin Gunn and Michael Anthony Thompson and Jason Fayon.
That's great. What a great way to kick it off.
Yeah, it just
because that's what people are going to want to come down and share their thoughts and just
exactly. Yeah, we'll share all the old war stories. We'll examine all the coffee stains that we've accumulated over the years, and just share great memories, and encourage everybody to come down and donate food in the name of Pierre. So be good stuff.
Love it. So that'll be Monday, and then the rest of the week is going to kind of be a rotating cast.
Revolving cast, yes.
Yeah, at some point, Jackie might be, or is he doing, he's going to do afternoons one day.
I thought he was going to
Or is it middays?
I think he's going to do a Pierre.
It's
There's a hockey game.
No, that one's on Friday, so that I can answer.
It's on Friday.
So
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I know that
next week.
Jackie's playing in that game, so.
Oh,
yeah. It could be. What do I do again?
Can you imagine him? All jingly and rattling all over the...
do I hit the frozen ring ding?
All over the ice.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
All right. But it's going to be a fun week next week, of course. All right, so we need the letter of the day.
Yes.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
C, as in compassion.
And we have one more letter to go, and tomorrow we give away the $1,500 Steven Singer gift card, and they say diamonds are forever unless the horsemen get them first. From the masterminds behind the global magic phenomenon comes Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Steven Singer Jewelers is making the magic real, giving you $1,500 towards your own diamond that definitely won't vanish. And you can also head to WMMR.com/contest and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets for an advanced screening of that movie, which will be at the Philadelphia Film Society East on Monday, November 10th. And Now You See Me, Now You Don't is in theaters November 14th. And we send big thanks to Steven Singer Jewelers. Visit IHateStevenSinger.com. So what you doing on the show today?
So today and the remainder of this week, i.e. tomorrow, we've been running back some of these Pierre Presents, the archive sessions with Pierre. Today, we're going to take you back to 2023, the first use of our performance space with Pierre and the Revivalists.
Ah, yes.
And
it's great.
It was really good. And I just want to, nice little segue that you had mentioned on the air, Preston, about, taking that moment and taking a breath and things coming in wave. A, that was such a beautiful sentiment and feel all of these feelings. And thank you for sharing that.
Certainly.
B, there is a great note that I got regarding Pierre's generosity involving this revivalist session, and these sentiments are just so beautiful. So we'll go over that letter. We'll talk about everything, and everybody's healing in different ways. So continue that love, put arms around each other, and that's the mission moving forward.
I love it. All right, hang with Ryan today. Thank you, Ryan, and I want to thank our sponsors, Preston and Steve Show, brought to you today by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, also Dunkin', and of course, the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. And Nifty 50. Stop by Nifty 50s and order the Preston and Steve inspired milkshake gingerbread blast, and a portion of the proceeds are going to benefit our Camp Out for Hunger. Tomorrow morning on their program, definitely going to have Tom Pop on. He's in town this weekend.
That's right.
For a show, and there's a chance we might have Luke Spiller of the Struts on tomorrow. We'll see if that comes together or not. So that and all Friday things as well. So that's it. We're done. Rage on and have a great day in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.